Have you ever seen the high tower, Sir Crispy? It's very tall. Me and my brother, we used to, or my cousin or whatever. I don't know the Hightower family tree, guys. Don't give me a hard time in the comments. We used to run up and down the stairs to see who could see the sunrise first. But I had to let him win because, you know, he was kind of a sensitive twat. Even back then, that was the scene of the week for me. I loved it. There, of course, we see the Hightower every week. There it is, majestically rendered in full 3D. Shout out Jeff and Biswas, and shout out all the patrons. Shout out everyone in the live chat. We are ready to... That's right, Thailand is back. Thailand is back from the dead. There's lots to talk about. And we've got a very special panel tonight, which I can't wait to introduce to you. But we've got to get all... Let's imagine Gwaine and Ormond running up these stairs. Man, that must take like an hour and a half to run to the top of this thing. Look how tall it is. Absolutely ridiculous. I was like, what, did you start from the second to top floor, then run to the top? They didn't run the whole thing. Come on. Although Ormond is cut. He's got some nice abs. Maybe he has been running. Michael talks about stuff. Hey, what are you doing on my live stream?
Hey, I was just about to make the same joke that you did to open. We now know how Ormond got so cut for his bath bod. He's just been running stairs at the high tower his whole life.
Oh my.
And Nettles, of course, I am not surprised to find you here. You're my stalwart companion.
Yay!
Yeah. And we do have Michael Talks About Stuff. So if you don't know, you should subscribe to Michael Talks About Stuff. If you like my videos, you will like his videos. You know, great theories.
Similar wavelengths.
What's that?
Similar wavelengths.
Yeah, 2-hour videos about the others. That's still just part one.
Yep.
Man cut after my own jib, as they say. Yeah, so thank you all for being here, and subscribe to Nettles because she is still editing the how's that going?
There's things, listen, I'm not making no promises or setting no deadlines. There's things to watch on my channel. That's all I've got to say. There's things to watch. I do drunk history, I do debates. Yeah.
Yeah, Nettles' channel is maybe the funniest Ice and Fire channel out there.
Wow.
And she has her own emoji icon. That's right. Which YouTube channel member squishers get the special icons. Let's talk about the episode. Michael Talks About Stuff. You are our special guest this week. I usually like to ask my guests what struck them emotionally, either horrible or funny, or like what made the most impact on you as a viewer.
There was a lot. I loved that there are cats everywhere instead of rats everywhere, first of all. I really enjoyed the Harrenhal scenes, of course, with Aemon seemingly having dreams of his brother the same way Daemon did, but being tormented in his own way. But like, I gotta say, I also really liked Larys just losing his temper with Aegon. I think that was maybe the thing that stood out the most, is when he just finally was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna just say, you have squandered every possible advantage and you are a terrible person. And then Aegon has to take that and then just come like plop himself down next to Larys and be like, okay, you're right. I probably am not going to be able to pull off killing my brother.
What was funny about that scene is that when Aegon is talking, he sort of suckers you in, even though we know he's a little shit or whatever. Yeah. Like, he's still like, yeah, that's true. Alicent did do that. She did favor Aemond, and Aemond was, you know, more gifted, and they made excuses for him not to be in the tourney, and you're starting to feel, I don't know if it's sympathy, but his perspective. You're starting, and then Larys is like, actually, you are about as privileged as any. You were born on like an inch from home plate, and you couldn't score. Like you know, showed up drunk to a battle you weren't invited to. All you've done is whinge. There was a lot in there to break down. It was pretty epic dressing down. It was cathartic. That did impact me in the feels. Nettles, your thoughts?
No, yeah. I love that you said you were born an inch away from home plate. Like, yeah, that is that. I love that analogy. I'm definitely stealing that. Definitely agree. Definitely agree with that. What you guys said. I have nothing to add.
Well, then how about Aegon knifing that dude? I forget his name, but the guy that made him kiss his feet. And he's like, oh, King Aegon, is it? He's like, you'll call me your grace, as he stabs him out. Like, that was pretty cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, Janos. I thought I predicted he was gonna stab him with Sunfire's scale, but he did not. He got to stab him though, so I'm happy anyway.
Here
No,
lies
yeah.
Beavis. He never scored. Shout out to Grey Waste Tim in the chat. Cool. Well, let's do a quick catch up of our first wave of super chats. A bunch always do come in at the beginning, and this is how we do it. If you send them in, this is how we do it. When you send them in, I can't. I always hear that. I can't say that without hearing it. We let it go, and then we catch up periodically. And if you feel missed, then remind me or remind the mods, and we'll get you. We do appreciate you. Seems like Gwaine wanted to kill Cole himself. Gwaine is trying to gaze into the black abyss that is Sir Kristen, and he's like. And and then Kristen just abysses harder. Yeah, we'll talk about it. That ending, holy crap. Yeah, what happened in the tunnel and then the murder of Gold Cloaks, that was a crazy ending. We will definitely discuss that. They left us, they sort of built the tension all episode, almost like a red wedding type thing, leading up to that. So that was pretty well done. Shades of Meereen and the Harpy Sons and all that, right? Hail to the lords and lovely Lady 3. And you could, if Michael, feel free to, you're allowed to interrupt here. This is how we do it. Oh, I gotta
Yeah,
stop.
no. I did also have in my notes that this is a lot like Dany dealing with trying to rule Marine. Like, there's always the parallels between Rhaenyra and Dany, and that's another one to add to the list.
Everybody wants to rule the world. All right, now I'm cured of the Montel Jordan. Hail to the Montel Jordans. It's a syndrome you can come down with. Hail to the lords and lovely Lady 3. Lord Light. Okay, you're making me read the titles. I confess that Aegon is my favorite character, and this arc has struck me true. Aegon is faceted, and it seems Sunfire's scale is what's giving him strength to carry on. I'm only going to speak in song chorus lines today. Yeah, so everything is compelling. Not a good person, but the scenes are riveting. I think that's what we're all feeling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talked about him, like, talking about Alicent favoring Aemon, but the scene right before that wasn't Aemon crying to Alice that Alicent liked Aegon better. He was talking about how he tormented him as a child and his mother, and he's about to say liked him best, and then Alice is just like, it's okay.
Yeah, we got a whole bad parenting triangle. We had Alicent, more bad parenting in real time, the effects of her prior bad parenting all coming home. There's a lot to talk about with that family. So yeah, we'll definitely come back to that one. Thoughts on Helena needing to see the moon. Just some creepy, weird stuff that Helena says. Hashtag things that Helena says,
So I think we've both talked about the idea of, like, the moon as, like, the thing that the magic bounces off of for, like, the direwolf communication and the weirwoods being color matched to the moon. And, like, if you remember when she was reaching out to Daemon in the weirwood vision that he had, she was out on the balcony looking up at the moon. So, like, I do kind of wonder if that's another little hint of her being like, I need to connect to the psychic energy that is,
amplifies the dragon dreaming, clarifies the vision. That also fits with the line about that Aemon says about Alice at one point, without giving away the scene, which is spoilers. She says, oh, my Alice saw you in a puddle, in a storm cloud, in a flame, as if all these different natural forces can be used as a medium for magic vision. So yeah, I saw you in the moon's reflection, or I saw you in the moon's shadow. Yeah. That sort of fits with that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I imagine Helena doesn't want to be, like, trapped and then also not have access to the magic that allows her to, feel slightly less confined.
Almost reminds you of the direwolves too. Like, Bran's got to hear the direwolves sing, and they all sing to the moon.
Yeah.
Poll for best buddy comedy, please. Kristen and Gwaine or Larys and Aegon? Larys and Aegon, I don't even know if that's a vote. But yes, there is a little buddy comedy, both of which are better than Jaime and Bronn in Dorne.
Yes.
Just to remind everyone about that, because that happened. We all had to watch it. So Sir Luther said to Daemon, "It's been a minute," to mean a long time, maybe the most contemporary language in a Song of Ice and Fire show. I didn't catch that. Did you?
That took me out of it. Yeah, I remember thinking, I'm like, a minute? He's like, it's been a minute since da 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 da, and I'm like, huh, I haven't heard. George writes his own slang, so I haven't heard him use that like a minute as meaning long, like a long time. So yeah,
Anachronistic speech of the week award. Yeah.
yeah.
Not to defend
Yeah.
Ormond, but losing a game of chess really does feel like that sometimes.
Oh come on, who's like? I don't lose at chess. I've never lost. I don't know what there.
Well, again, not to shout out my own video from last. I mean, everybody made an Ormond video, but some people focused on Ormond's like Riz and stuff, and I was like, abuser. This is a manipulator and an
Yeah.
abuser, and we definitely saw more of that tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, where he's like scared to have won the game. He's just like, sorry, I didn't mean to. I got
yep.
lucky. He's like, never apologize for a victory.
Yeah,
No,
it's and you can just tell like you flip a coin on a different time, Ormond would have had a full tantrum. But this time he's all like, "Oh yeah, teaching a life lesson." Like, yeah, this guy he turns on a you just never know. We've seen with the temper. So yeah, this is how you keep other people on edge around you. That's what I was talking about in the video. IDK, if it's recency bias, but the episodes of build up to these upcoming battles have been significantly better than Rook's Rest or even the Gullet. That's an interesting perspective. I agree in the sense that like some of the build up episodes are the quintessential Game of Thrones type things
yeah,
with lots of little conversations in the hallways and stuff. I mean, that sort of is what the show is known for when it's functioning the best. I loved Rook's Rest though. I don't have any. I thought that was exceptional, but for different reasons. For different reasons. Praise Queen Nettles. Indeed, hear, hear. Glory be to her name. Do you think the vigilantes are Ormond's doing, or is that a red herring? I mean, they kind of confirmed it. Who else do you think could be behind the attacks? Yeah, they're definitely Ormond's. He got the pigeon letter, you
Hey,
know.
did you notice who it was that sent that out? Uh, so I credit to Fantasy Haven because he called this like when we first saw this guy, but that
Mm-hmm.
guard that Alicent and Helena went to, and they're like, "Where's your commander? We need to get you all to stand down." The guard who pointed him to the commander and then like reluctantly took his helmet off and walked away. The reason Fantasy Haven noticed him is because he has heterochromia, which the actor does not. So they like drew attention to this second in command like rando and
Okay.
gave him special eye coloring, and
Mm-hmm.
he's now leading the resistance. So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
That's cool. That's a good catch. Fantasy Haven, by the way, great YouTube channel. Probably most of the people in the audience know him, but yeah, really cool original content for sure. And let's see, was hoping we were getting Roddy's iconic line on the accompanying scene this week, but alas, next time. Well, they were setting it up. Try to remind me in the spoiler section that we'll do at the end, but a lot of Kristen's words, they were setting up some book lines for the Butcher's Ball, so that's cool. Cole needs to. Everyone's sick of Cole. Like literally, they're sitting around in the operas. That broke the fourth wall for me. What was it? Oscar and Roddy. Yeah, they're like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this guy. Like, yeah, that's the vibes. You're catching it.
it's crazy.
If only
Yeah,
he was there, he would also say, "I'm sick of Kristen Cole too. I'm sick of being me. I don't want to do this anymore."
Do you think it's fun to live in
yeah.
an abyss? I'm the greatest warrior ever.
Yeah.
Oh, there were some good lines tonight. I will just say my initial reaction to the episode was that the style of editing was kind of very different than most of the other episodes. It was a lot of quick, short scenes and cutting back in and forth, sort of leading up to this montage where we're hearing Kristen's dialogue and different things are happening. I do like that, but we haven't seen any of that on the show in a while. So that was a little like, oh, wow, this is a different director. I don't
Yeah.
know who directed which episode, but it had a unique feel, I will say that. I honestly thought it would go in a different direction. Ormond could have taken the opportunity of Rhaenyra not paying her gold cloaks and have paid them off with his newly minted Daron coin. Yeah, Daron coin. It's a new
New
Bitcoin.
crypto.
And not Bitcoin.
What do you guys think of that Ormond's strategy here to go for like just straight murder and Harpy Sons style?
It's working. Like, I wrote in my notes, I'm like, this is now the Ormond show. Like, they couldn't, wow us with depiction of Damon and Rhaenyra or some plot element or even the dragons, what did our heads turn for? Ormond. That's crazy. Like the way everything they're doing with him is perfect. And I feel like we're in like a college class of Ormond 101 because like G Wayne tells us, Gawain Hightower, he tells us that you have to let Ormond win like at games. And then like we
Yeah.
get that payoff because in the next scene we see what happens when Darren doesn't let Ormond win. And I feel like we're just getting to know him in a way that I wish there were scenes like this with Rhaenyra earlier on. Like I am so invested in Ormond. Like I needed more Ormond scenes. So this is just an example of like great writing having like that payoff. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things we can point at the show that's like, why are they doing this? Or I don't like that or whatever. I think they've mostly been successful at expanding characters who didn't have much presence in the books. What do you think of the Ormond third act villain, Michael?
I love it. I think he's really interesting, and yeah, like a lot of I echo a lot of what Nettles said, and like him. First of all, the fact that moving the dragon piece is what beats him, right as he's talking down the idea of dragons and saying how a cunning mind can overcome the dragons, and then Darren one move of his dragon and he wins, and Ormond flips the board. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a couple of Fagon, not to be on somebody else's corner, but there was a couple of Fagon John Con parallels here. We had to pick up my pieces, dwarf, chessboard flip.
Yep.
And then we had the John Con Rhaegar moment with Kristen Cole and Gwaine, where he's like, "Oh, I want to show you my lands and come
Yeah.
live at our household. Like, what's going on here?" kind of thing. Yeah. But
Yeah, I love
unfortunately,
that, like-
unfortunately for Gwaine, like you can't. The abyss doesn't crush back. Like that's just that guy's empty. So.
No, I loved that him like subtly trying to talk him out of marching them all to death by mentioning how beautiful the sunrise is and being like, "Hey, there's a way out of this, buddy. Like this isn't your only path. Like Rhaenyra can't
No, I'm
come get
afraid
you
I'm
at
the
Old
greatest
Town."
warrior ever. Gotta go die. Something about the father. Blessed
Yeah.
be his name.
Yeah.
There were no dragons this episode. To answer a quick question from the chat, it was we only heard rumblings of Vhagar, but we did not see it. How about the fact that Vhagar apparently burning all those castles in the Riverlands by her damn self?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's interesting, like a rogue dragon just going hunting for food while Aemon like recuperates his kidney stab. Yeah.
I'm accepting this as the secret book canon too. This is book canon now. Vhagar did this all by herself because she's full of hate.
That just shows how deeply Aemon and Aegar are connected. Like you could say he's warging her or something. Like no, I think the dragon acts on your deepest desires, and that's why now circling back, I'm gonna say that was his deepest, darkest desire to kill Luke. He hated him. Much as he said, "Oh no, Vhagar, no." What was in the pit? What was in that pit? And then, so I think
this is a good theory. Yeah, the dragon channels the id, almost like if you've seen Forbidden Planet. Michael, you seen that movie? Real old movie, Forbidden Planet.
No.
Robbie the Robot. No.
No.
That's right. Yeah, I think you might be right. Like Aemond is dreaming about burning the Riverlands, and Vhagar is making it happen. The king dreams and the dragon builds or whatever burns the Riverlands.
And even if he's not dreaming of specifically doing that, he's having horrible, tormenting dreams, and that's probably agitating Vhagar, if nothing else, and that, makes her want to just go burn things to blow off some steam.
She's just burning whatever's close by, yeah. No, you guys got it. Yeah, she's reset to factory settings. She thinks she's in Dorne. You guys are doing the work here in the chat. Thank you very much. So I never asked you, Nettles, what struck you emotionally from this episode? Or you could be amused and it just
No, I know. I have notes. I think
you don't have to feel emotions. I didn't mean to demand that of you.
Right? I know. How dare you? No. For me, it was like the Aemon scene, seeing him brought down again. I forgot. Sometimes I forget, like I get to hating on Eamon, but I forget that he could have that side because I thought he was just gonna go full psycho from here on out, like cold militant man. So I'm like, oh yeah, the mommy issues. So I'm like, okay, I'm prepared for that. That's cool. Um, yeah, just seeing that side of him.
Yeah, Eamon definitely was pretty cool this episode. To your point earlier, Michael, they're able to speed run the entire Harrenhal experience because we've already
Yeah.
seen Damon do it, so they can just sort of flash forward to like he's disturbed and unbalanced and all that, and we kind of know like, oh, he's been having freaky dreams about the goat and his brother and all kinds of things. So
Yeah, what he said, like when he woke up, he said that he dreamt of his brother and his face was burned and he was dragging him down into the abyss. And
sounds
it's like,
pleasant. Yeah.
oh, well, we know exactly what we know without seeing exactly what type of dream he was having.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I do like seeing him suffer. I love seeing him brought down low, and I just can't get over it. I'm so happy that it was the weakest strong that brought him down to this low. Like it would like like think of like Simon's scrawniest son gave him that little side piece before he went. And Eamon hates weakness, so I just love that sort of symbolism there. That's the weakest one that got him. And then of course we know Eamon hates strongs. So I'm loving seeing this.
I wonder if he probably doesn't realize that Alice Rivers is a strong. He may not. He may not. He eventually will. But to your point, which oh man, what was I just gonna say? What did you just?
Amen. Symbolism, weakest strong, took him out. I'm reveling in his pain.
Oh, you know who else? Helena did not seem to be sad when she informed Alice and be like, "Oh no, he's in Harrenhal. I've seen him. He's having dreams about Aegon." Like she didn't seem,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, he's getting what he deserves there.
He's fine. He's fine.
I do
It
want to
does
say
make
that
me
I
wonder.
think
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the people were wondering if maybe Helena's baby was not going to be Aegon's, and I was like, no, it's definitely going to have been Aegon's. And so yeah, I think the Aemond is the father theories are not they're DOA.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It also does make me wonder that little conversation, like how much does Allison know about Helena's like psychic powers? Because when she's just like, yeah, we don't know where your brother is. He was at Harrenhal, but he fled. And she's like, no, he's there. I've seen him. Allison pauses for like a second, but she doesn't really go into it. So I do kind of wonder, like, is this the first time Helena's told you about these visions and you're just kind of weirded out, or have you heard about them for so long that you're just kind of like, okay,
So I
like,
think when you have a friend or family member that is psychic, I think a lot of the family members put them in the maybe pile. Like, hey, I'm not
yeah,
going to say that she's not seeing anything. I'm not going to swear that she is either. And then so it's like you just never you just get used to them saying things that are a little off, and you're like, yeah, maybe, who knows? So I think it's probably kind of like that.
Yeah. 50-50.
yeah,
I'm going to say no, Allison does not know or she doesn't believe. Because if she did, she would have used Helena or at least like maybe treated her different. She treats her like a oh little simpleton type of little daughter I kind of pity. Not someone like, you know, that you can trust with anything. So I don't think she knows. Because
Well, we
she'd
saw
use it.
Helena stand up for herself a lot this week. She
That
refused
was
the moon.
good.
It almost looked like Allison was going to pour that shit down her throat. Uh,
yeah.
that was a tense scene for me. Honestly, that was very claustrophobic and tense. Helena stood up for herself, and then later, when she's being told she's got to leave Jahara, who we had 30 seconds to bond with Jahara and the bugs. We are now very attached, and so
Yeah.
she's got to leave her behind. You understand why Allison is saying this, but just Allison. Anyway, the point is, she says to Allison, "Oh, you look away when you lie." So even though she ultimately complied with the plan, she still stood up for herself by calling out Allison, for, like, "Don't try to deceive me," you know.
Yeah. So Allison's wrong. Allison's wrong not to believe her because looks like she's right. And just as a mother to daughter relationship, she should kind of do better to get to know her. Um, so that she can suss out these things too. Like it would benefit you to give your child a second glance. Really look at her.
Allison is
Yeah.
just Lami Greenhands with a nice dress. She's just like, she, yield, I yield, I yield. Like, I give up. You can have my son. You can have it. No, cut our losses. Forget Jahara. Here, take the moon tea. Just like,
Yeah. Allison, come on. It kind of like reminded me like that you're asking her to do like a pretty terrible thing. Um and she does it so lightly with so much like come on, like she's just so used to the being a cog in this machine because these actions aren't logical. Like it's just not biological like a feeling like a mother has to like let me make you do something that you don't want. That's so I don't know, like it's such a crime to do, you know?
well, and of course, the House of the Dragon does excel at creating these relationships where the parents are passing on the stuff that happened to them. Of course,
Yeah.
Allison, you might wear one of your mother's dresses to go seduce the
Yeah.
king. Like, she's been made to do stuff she didn't want to do, and she just thinks that's like what you have to do to
Yeah, it's
survive.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about how both of the sons each thought that the other was Allison's favorite. I also wonder if Helena, if you asked her, does she also think she's the least favorite of Allison's kids? Because going 3 for 3 on that is not great.
Yeah, think about how bad of a mom you have to be when the kids don't even know who the favorite is.
Yeah.
In my family, we knew
They
who the
all
favorite
Everyone
think
was.
it's
thinks
not them.
they're the least favorite. Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
That's something I
we,
noticed like today for sure.
Well
Like,
done.
it's a
Well done.
clear thing, like who the favorite is. So if they're unsure, like Allison, you're not. I don't know. I just
Daron
don't
is
know.
like, Allison? Is that her name?
yeah.
Allison.
Yeah, Darren probably thinks he's the least favorite, so she's probably 4 for 4. He's like, well, she sent me away.
Yeah,
She
she
didn't
must
even
hate
want
me.
anything to do with me.
He's got mommy issues and he's never met her, like,
Crazy.
Yeah.
oh
Crazy.
boy. Okay, yeah. She really she just has she's kind of permanently deer in the headlights, and people have joked that Olivia Cook is really good at that look or whatever, and she
Oh
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Allison is just permanently, she doesn't have a plan. She's in survival mode. She's spinning from one thing to the next, and she imagines that she can do Otto like manipulations, but she clearly does not understand even at all what Otto was doing, which means he didn't teach her. So
She's a pawn who suddenly has to be the player, and she's just like, I don't know how to. No one told me how to do this. I've been a pawn the whole time from someone else. Now his head's cut off. What do I do?
How much do we think she knows about what's going on the outside? Like, does she know the gold cloaks are disappearing?
I would say nothing at this point. I don't think she knows a
Yeah.
thing. Um,
Okay.
I
Because
was
I'm
wondering
thinking
about
like,
that too, but I think I'm coming
yeah,
down on the side that no, Ormond didn't return those letters, and she doesn't know what's up.
yeah. Because it
She
seems
was
like she
chugging
would.
that moon tea like it was a frat party drinking contest.
And the chat did also point out she does kind of try to make a power play with Massaria. I don't know how well that's exactly gonna work, but like, did you guys get the vibe of like, is she sensing the love triangle, the
Oh my God.
Rhaenyra, Mysaria, Daemon? Because she's like, oh, well, sure, she's focused on you now, but her and Daemon are always gonna be two sides of a coin. It's like, do you know they made out, Allison? Can you tell? Like, is your love for Rhaenyra like allowing you to recognize what's going on here?
Yeah,
Like,
she's
Maybe.
definitely working that angle. She's trying to.
yeah,
I think you're right. I think it was more than just playing off the jealousy between advisors. She may have been
it
sensing.
felt like it.
Yeah.
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 And Mysaria certainly had Allison pegged. I think she insinuated that she knew it was Kristen Cole. She's like, "Oh, your lover, was he a lord or a commoner? Maybe
Yeah.
both." That's Kristen Cole.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
probably had an inkling about Helena. Allison is presented to us as a bad liar. Like, if you look at the actor's notes, it's you're playing a bad liar. Oh, let me drink that. Oh yeah, it's about time. Okay, I'll see you
Yeah.
later. Yeah. So of course she's out in the hall. Right. I gotta go. Of course she's out in the hallway. Waiting for that was cold. Like, you see Allison and Helena look up and just freeze in their tracks, and it's Mysaria like, you didn't think I'd be here?
I've replaced every worker in this building who's not loyal to me. What do you think's gonna happen, Elson? How do you think this is gonna work here?
I just told you that I know what you get, and like, I'm all over
Yeah.
this. Yeah. So it's good to see Mysaria is a competent mistress of whispers. At least Rhaenyra has one competent person working for her, right?
See, no, I have to start my I hate Massaria rant. I hate Massaria in the show. In the books, I hated her, but at least she was doing a lot more in the books, and I hate to be that person. The books, right? Take a shot or whatever. But
Take a
but
shot.
in the show, I just don't like her. And my thing is like, why is she putting all of this strength and power into investigating Moon Tea when Eamon is still out there?
Because it has to do with Alicent and Helena, and there might be, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
there might be leverage.
No, I know that's what you're gonna say, but I'm just saying that like that is so small potatoes to what is going on. We just came from the small council meeting when Rhaenyra was begging everybody to focus on Aemon. She wants to send Daemon out there. He's like, no, I gotta focus on the gold cloak. She's like, no, find Aemon. She keeps telling people to find Aemon. Like that is kind of like an order from the queen that everyone should just be like rushing to like get it done, but they're not listening to her, which is what she told Daemon. And Massaria, you're the mistress of whispers, and you're trying to be something more. You should be attuned to Rhaenyra's wants and needs, and if you want to give her a present, give her whisperings of Aemon. Like make it happen. Send those ravens out. You're not. Like I'm sorry.
I feel
She
like
should be doing so much.
yeah, I don't know that tracking down people out in the countryside is mostly her purview. I mean, she's
Okay,
more
how
about the
about gold?
intelligence and the.
Yeah. How about gold cloaks? Like it could be something else. Like it could be something that has to directly do with the war. Like what are the threats to our lives? So Allison, Helena, like 9 months for her to give birth. Is this what we're going to be worried about? That some babe is going to be propped up to
So
take us down? We have enough problems now. Like
I think that
we-
anything that she can, any advantage or information she could. I understand your point. Let me just say that I
Yeah.
think that anything she can get from the high towers that could be helpful could be more important than you know at first. Like I think she's smart to keep tabs on Helena and Alicent because, like you said, they could be in contact with spies. We don't know what Orwell's up to. Well, I think we do now, but we didn't. So I think that's why she's keeping tabs on them. And also,
Yeah.
I think Rhaenyra would be concerned if there was another male heir. I mean, we've seen her and Daemon talking about that idea. But I mean, I
No,
understand your point.
demand more. I demand more. Varys was
I think
spinning.
you're
three
taking
plots at
Daemon's
once.
side in this love triangle, and you're mad
Yeah.
at Mysaria
Yeah.
on Daemon's behalf.
No.
No.
We've seen Varys spin like 3 plots at once, riding over to Essos, working Dany, working Ned, working Littlefinger. Stop it! Like this is the standard that I'm used to for the master or mistress of whispers. And I'll also put my foot on Larys's neck because that first scene when we enter Harrenhal and we see those guys looking for Aemon, for a minute I thought like, is that one of the guys with no tongue who Larry sent out there? Like, where are they? Like, Larry's is a horrible master of whispers because you're trudging through poop and stuff when you should have connections. At least those guys that you cut their tongue, like, what's happening? So
I did love how
both
randos
of them.
kept showing up to Harrenhal, and Alice is like just getting tired of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of built up that everyone's looking for Aemon, so that was good. But I'm just saying, I need more. Like
She may
just
have more
two
going
things are
on in the
falling through the
background.
cracks.
She's only getting I'm sorry, again, I didn't mean to cut in before you were done. I was just saying she may have more stuff in the background. You never know. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, I do have to defend it a little bit as well, because, like, yeah, like David sort of said, she can't actually herself track down Aemon physically. She's kind of got to deal with
Does
the
she have
intrigue
a
within the
contact
Red
in
Keep.
Harrenhal? Like, does she have a contact in Harrenhal?
Yeah, I'm sure she's got her agents on everything
Right.
that she can, right? Like it's like Varys had his little birds off doing stuff. Meanwhile, he's hanging out with Tyrion and Shay, making little jokes about, "Oh, Tyrion, your girlfriend's hanging out in my bedroom." He had time to do that. Massaria has time to check on Alicent and Helena for a night.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
don't think I actually don't think Mysaria would have contacts in Harrenhal. Her intelligence networks would be mostly in King's Landing. That's where she's been. Like that's what she's bringing is contacts in King's Landing. So I think you can grill her for not solving the Ormond Hightower-ness of it. Like how come she wasn't able to suss out
Yeah.
his people that pulled off that incredible massacre of gold cloaks in their barracks? Like that's almost so audacious as to like break immersion, but let's wait and see like how they pulled it off, you know. I think, and to go back to the earlier point in conversation is about Ormond. You have to remember, we're going against people with dragons. So anybody that doesn't have a dragon, you got to give them some power. Like they got to have something to be intimidating, or else it's just like, well, you're just sitting there moving chess pieces around on your little board and throwing tantrums until the dragons come burn you. So now he seems powerful because he can reach out into King's Landing and strike down Luther Largent and all this right in their guild hall. So I think that's the idea, to make him seem at least a potential menace, you know, because he doesn't have a dragon. What did he call the dragon in front of Daron? Some other way of saying abomination. Like he never stops slanging Daron's dragon side in front of him. It's so sick. I'm going to pull this up right here. He says the obscenity of their dragons. He's talking about what the Targaryens have. They have strength and the obscenity of their dragons. Like, man, he has a dragon that you want him to use for you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and then he gets beat by the dragon chess piece, as we already talked about. So like, yeah, he's got some issues with dragons, which are likely to be addressed.
I missed that. That's symbolism, Michael.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, and the other thing, it was brought up, like, Mysaria, is she the only like helpful one that Rhaenyra has? I just have to say how much I loved that small council scene where like Torrin Manderly is explained to Sabbath Frey like who everybody is, like it's her first day in class, and they're like whispering in the corner. Then Daemon's like the teacher who catches them and just stops talking to stare at them until they shut up. Like, yeah, that was good.
I was just gonna say that was a world-class haranguing that Sabbath Frey did in the hallway. That was just 100 out of 100. Go ahead.
Oh heck yeah! Talking your way into a high council position. Dang, I need those skills. I need to talk my way into a couple things, a couple opportunities here.
Yes, but I would be pleased to sit on the high council. Yes, that was all a long way of saying thank you for inviting me.
It reminds me of like when you're at the doctor's and the doctor has someone shadowing them and they're like talking about your innards and like your body and they're just like whispering to each other, and it's like, yeah, I'm annoyed because like I'm like right here. It's like, yeah, it's a really big tumor. Like I don't know.
And also, so it's interesting. The Freys are just always trying to get more. You know, they were promised Harrenhal, and we see that all throughout Harrenhal's history. Basically, ever since Aegon burned the thing down, it's been just a football. It's been in one hand and then the other. No one can hold it down. All kinds of kings promise it to all kinds of people. It's still happening in the main plot. I think like 5 or 6 people have held Harrenhal since the story began, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So
so first of all, I will say too, it is another, of course, parallel to the main series that the Freys led the Starks across the bridge, and then they are not given what was promised for the crossing. To be fair, in both cases, they asked for way too much for crossing a bridge, but they don't get it. So yeah, it's another little parallel. And the other thing that I found really interesting was that Alice seems to know about Rhaenyra's offer that whoever kills Aemon gets Harrenhal, and she's still not just doing it. Like, that's a really interesting situation, because like when that offer was made, it was like, oh dang, like if only that had been made a week earlier, Daemon could have been like, all right, Alice, you want Harrenhal? If Aemon shows up, you kill him, it's yours. But he already told her she can't have it and sort of insulted her as he did so. So now she's like, apparently not going to take up that offer, even though she absolutely could.
I don't think she trusts that it would be given to her.
Yeah.
Yep. Simple as that. What was the first thing you said? About the Freys. Yes. So I was thinking about this because I'm working on a huge 1-hour White Harbor video. You wouldn't think there's that much there, but there is. I had a real good time making it. It's coming not this week, but next week. And you know what was one thing about White Harbor is the Manderleys came there 1,000 years ago. They took basically a little fortress guarding the mouth of the river and turned it into a port city. One of only 5 cities in Westeros, and the only port city or even town of any size in the entire north. So what they have done is they have enabled the entire north to prosper, even as they grew rich through commerce. which is why they're so important to the North and why they're the best friends of the Starks. And the Starks never come by and like ransack their coffers or whatever. They have this really good relationship. Compare that to the Freys, who are like, oh, we've got the strategic location. Let's be bridge trolls and contribute nothing to society and just ask for as much as possible every time. Like, yeah, it's such a contrast.
Yeah, they could have definitely set up like a market town, and then they're just like, nope, 2 towers and a bridge, and we're gonna be just a-holes to anyone who tries to cross.
Merman.
Yeah,
Grey Waste Tim. There will be plenty of Zoolander merman memes in the video. Do not worry. Have a plethora.
Yeah, Dave, when you put it like that, that makes the like a Manderley a perfect master of coin. Rhaenyra was smart for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a little class comment like, oh, the undesirables in Flea Bottom. I'm not saying they're desirable. I'm just saying, you know, okay, buddy. Real quick, This question I just caught my eye. Was Alicent lying about rescuing Jaehaer while escaping? We'll never know, I guess. I don't think so, because given what they had just gone through, Helena's not continuing with the escape if she doesn't produce the kid. She said, oh, at the end of the hall,
If she was telling the truth, then is Jaehaer still waiting at the end of where they were supposed to meet up with some other, like, loyal agent?
True, they never addressed that. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of think she might have been lying. Yeah. Like, that was the vibe I got, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I got the lying vibe too. Yeah.
Very possible. Okay, I think I have to agree with y'all. Also, those handmaiden disguises, not fooling anyone, added to the list of bad. Yeah, bad cosplay with Alicent Hightower. Like, give me somebody make a reel out of that. It's the Septa, the handmaid. Yeah.
Like, don't cover your face or your hair at all. Like,
I know,
the queens,
right?
literally the 2 queens that everyone in the keep knows. Just like, at least Rhaenyra when she snuck out dressed as like a little boy.
Wow, look how many super chats. You guys are so supportive and also inquisitive. We'll just, we'll be guided by you for a bit, and then we'll circle around to the scenes we didn't get, I guess. I honestly thought it would go in a different direction. I think I read that one. Yes, we discussed it. The hooded hand is back from the dead with a hood.
Tywin Lannister.
Oh, yeah. That was an epic reappearance. He's like, do you need a ship? Dun dun. Tywin is back.
Yeah, that was great.
We all called it. We knew it would happen. This makes sense to do it this way. Because Aegon's got to start building some, he needs more than just Lars if he's going to do anything,
Yeah.
He needs some help.
I knew he was close enough to the rocks to get out of the drink. I just didn't know where he was going to pop back up.
For sure. Yeah, we all were waiting for it, yeah. This episode, because he's got so many joyful things to experience before the story is over. Anyway, well, remind us to talk about Thailand chat in the spoiler section. Larys told Aegon all about himself. Also, Helena got Alicent on lock. Yeah, we talked about both those things. But yeah, I would love it when Helena is perceptive. I was arguing about that earlier in the season. Like, no, Helena's got agency, She just sometimes wants to talk about bugs. Go ahead.
You know what? I was misreading that super chat. When they said Larys told Aegon all about himself, I thought they meant that Larys was talking about himself. Like, Larys, you are also privileged, son of a lord. What did you do? What would you do with your position, or on the small council?
Yeah, but I don't. You killed your whole family. To
Larys
be what?
Can be like, bro. Larys can be like, bro. I was the second son. I killed everyone in my way and became like the hand of the king. I'm the only trusted advisor of the king right now. Like, I guess he was the master of whispers, but like he's basically Aegon's most trusted guy. He can defend what he did with his starting position, but
Flea Bottom, the 10th kingdom that none may rule. Yeah, you love Daemon with the empty promises, Dorne's riches and also Yi Ti and the city of the winged men and stuff. Ah, yeah. That was great. Yeah. We love that. We love the deep lore references there. Helena, it's mine, my own. Samwise, don't you know who you sound like? Gollum. Well, not exactly, but that's funny. Let's see. They introduced Syvast 200 years before its time. It's new to Westeros in the main series. That's a deep lore cut, Carolina Clay. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Really? Huh, okay.
Yeah. They talk about how it just came over within the last couple of years, and then like I think the Tyrells brought it to King's
Ruined.
Landing.
The show's ruined.
Yeah.
Cut the mics.
Yeah.
Cut the mics. Shut it down. Cut the stream. That's funny. That's good. Again, good deep knowledge though. That's cool. I love how haunted and spooky Harrenhal is, or is it Alice doing that? Well, seems like she might the skin change those bats. You know.
I was gonna say we saw her most like active magic attack so far, where she like tosses a rock and then bats just attack everyone, and then boom, she's gone. Like,
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
good.
I do think Alice Rivers' powers will probably not ever be defined on the show.
Yeah.
You know, they're being careful not to have her do stuff that's completely outside of things that are in Ice and Fire, but they're also not giving us she's a skin changer, and that explains everything she does. Like, she kind of does whatever she needs to do. So she's a witch. What can you say?
Yeah, if we do get any like official reveal, I think it'll be like very close to the end of, you know, the show or her story, whichever, you know. Like, I think they'll save if there is ever going to be a moment of like, and she was a child of the forest the whole time, like it'll be right at the end, and she like unglamours and then runs away into the woods or whatever.
Scampers away or little fawn legs. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, or turns
I think
into
she's
the
a mixed
goat,
media artist.
like on screen.
Yeah,
she's a what? Sorry,
a mixed media artist. But I was just
Yeah.
it would be cool if she had full on fawn legs and she's like a green woman.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
Aemond feeding blood to the Weirwood. Yes, Aemond made friends with the Weirwood this week. Maybe he'll get some better dreams. He did feed some blood to the yard there. And in all seriousness, a good action scene. Ewan Mitchell is supposedly the best swordsman. He takes it. He's really into it, you know. So he's able to shoot these scenes that look pretty good. Doesn't need a stunt double. And yeah, pretty good scene. We didn't get any battles or dragons this week, so that was kind of one of our flurries of actions there. But pretty dope. Pretty dope. I liked it. Yeah, Bela. Well, what we do, and also Adam making a move a little bit, like, oh, I'll come rescue you.
I got that vibe too. I'm like, are they doing another like uncle? Because it'd be uncle, right? He's Corlys's bastard. Corlys is her grandfather. So it's another uncle. It's a Daemon Rhaenyra.
Yeah,
Uncle.
it would be.
Part 2 kind of going on.
Uncle niece.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, I wrote that like if I was writing on this show, I would have her fall in love with both brothers. And in the spoiler section, we can talk some more about like the implications of that. But that would be some good story writing to write about the heart and conflict. We can give it some Wuthering Heights vibes. Like, yeah.
We will definitely come back to this in the spoiler section for sure. Let's not forget the Bela. Yeah. Okay. And I did think it was interesting. Bela, you know, she's feeling the disappointment. Like, oh, I wanted to go be a hero, you know, because she can't just say, oh, Jace talked me into it. Like, no, she made a choice to go. She knew Jace had locked Rhaenyra in. She could have put her foot down and demanded Rhaenyra been let out and made a scene. She didn't. She went with Jace. She said, I want to make a difference in the battle. I haven't done squat, you know. And now she feels guilty. She obviously did not recognize Rhaena. We can say that for sure. But she still feels guilty for going into the battle the way it did. And she even says, Rhaenyra can't even look at me. So you kind of felt that. I did anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely good, like you said, to hear her emotions towards the whole situation finally, because, yeah, it's obviously kind of completely ruined her entire life. So she's feeling it.
Yeah, you know, we talk a lot about... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just making jokes. She pulled a Joffrey, I'm not tired!
Well, that's just the thing. It's like we talk a lot about how the High Lords are using their kids as pawns in these medieval marriages, and even in, you know, like Doran sending Quentyn to Meereen and stuff to steal a dragon or marry Daenerys, whatever it was. And the kids at the same time, they're trained to know, like, oh, I'm nearly a man grown. I'm 7. I need to help. Little Joffrey wants to ride his dragon in the battle. Like most of the kids want to help, except for Aegon when he was a kid. He just wanted to piss off or whatever. But most of the kids, they're like, oh, I want to pull my weight too. Rhaena, obviously, that's her whole plot. So for a moment, I thought a skin changer was messing with Cole's horse. I think I skipped ahead on the super chats. No, it was those you had to remind us about the animal cruelty. Yeah, those crow's feet are awful.
Yeah.
I'm still banking on Daron's hair has dyed. I'm not with you here. There's no roots. Y'all misled me in the chat last week. Oh, his roots are showing. No, they weren't. There's no roots showing. It's a wig.
I have a point against that though. There are no roots showing. You're absolutely right. But because I'm probably gonna put out a Norman little quick video. I've at least got one somewhat planned. We'll see if I get around to it or not this week. But I was watching some interviews with, I think, James Norton, right? That's the actor.
Yes, and that's what the chat is talking about. Yeah.
One interview asked him, or like they were talking about his hate of the Targaryens and his sort of high tower supremacy. And the interviewer made the comment, like, I almost get the feeling that he would want to dye Daeron's hair even if he wasn't pulling this decoy trick. Like, he doesn't want him to look like a Targaryen, and the actor didn't push back on that. Like, he didn't push back and be like, oh no, that is his hair. Like, she implied that he has dyed and disguised Daeron. So at least from that, I take that I lean in the direction that he has normally blonde hair, combined with the fact that the disguise wouldn't work. Like, that would be a weird thing to do.
Yes, I agree with that logic. Trying to fool people with, like, oh, they'll think he has silver hair when he's never had silver hair. Yeah, that would be a plot hole. So it still would make more sense if the hair was dyed. I'm just saying there wasn't any roots. That's all.
Yes, there are no roots. It's a good dye job. He knows his hair care, Ormond.
No, yeah, I'm definitely of that camp. I could see Ormond, like, maybe there might be a throwaway line in the future where he's saying that Ormond wouldn't look at me with the silver hair. He demanded that I dye it, like, because he hates Targaryens that much.
If they really want to create a sick, twisted scene, it'll be Ormond dyeing his hair, like with his hands in his hair, like whispering manipulative shit and like, ugh.
Yeah, like he's like, your roots are starting to show again. Get in the chair, and he's like pulls out the hair.
I don't want to get in the chair.
Get in the joking.
Like Egg when he first starts getting his little like fuzzy little bit of hair, and he starts shaving it again right away. It's like, your roots are showing. Got to get rid of that right now.
Except for the hair on his stones, which is black. So he says. I don't believe that though. They're silver too. He was just lying for appearances. Okay, I did that one. When Ormond loses a game, the gods flip a coin. Yep. Yep.
That's good. That's a real good.
Did you notice that Aemond impaled a man on a weirwood root? Yep, we just talked about that. And one of those guys mentioned making Alice Rivers his salt wife. So he's an Ironborn. Oh, that's what Tim was talking about. Mm-hmm. Sometimes Tim just says Ironborn stuff, and I'm like, okay, Tim. No, I'm kidding. That's what he was talking about. Okay. So that makes sense. They're the kind of dudes that would think to scale the cliff face from the water. Like, that's an Ironborn kind of thing to do from, like, Castle Pike or something. Like, yeah. Cool. Well, Aemond made short work of them, so better luck next time. Nana just loves her war crimes. Again, I'm touched. I love this, that Nana's just out burning Wendish Town or wherever, just because she's bored or hungry or hateful.
Yeah.
Does Vhagar going rogue mirror Drogon and Dany? I don't think so. I mean, we could think that Vhagar's maybe just hunting, and there happen to be towns in the way of her food. Hard to say.
Sort of like Drogon in the Dothraki Sea, I'm guessing they're saying. Like that. Yeah. Similar vibes, but the Dothraki Sea is a little more barren, I think, and probably less full of populated towns to burn.
Or it's like Drogon burning the Iron Throne. It's like, you hurt my mommy, I'm burning the throne. It's like, you hurt my daddy, so she's burning castles. She's like, castles are the villains.
Yeah.
It's basically the meme. It's like, are we in Dorne? Is it Dorne?
Yeah.
Let me get my glasses.
Let me get my glasses. Oh, it's the river. Oh, we're gonna burn it anyway. Humboldt Sentinel is calling back to Catelyn Stark, telling Bran that he looks at his feet when he lies. So
Yeah.
I give Helena more points for sniffing out Alicent's lies than that of a 7-year-old boy. But yes, I think sometimes when they make up new dialogue, they do that. They go back to stuff from the books and sort of reuse it so it feels in world. Except for when they say "in a minute." It hasn't been a minute. It's been a minute or whatever. Yeah.
It's been a minute since you've been here, girl. You don't know the rules.
I don't think the Faith of the Seven has any space for seers. Alicent is so narrow-minded in her faith, I doubt she accepts Helena's foreknowledge. Yeah, like I said, the most you could say is that maybe she's got her in the maybe pile, like who knows. But yeah, she's not using Helena as a resource, which you would be doing if you really believe she had that gift. Past lover confronting the new side piece. You're responding to a conversation we were having. Which one?
Misery and
Mysaria. Yeah.
I will say I popped it in Search of Ice and Fire. The word minute or minutes is used 7 times in the main series, all in the first 3 books. So they do say a minute sometimes.
Oh no, it wasn't.
But yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
We're gonna say the same thing. It's the whole phrase. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
That is modern.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's insinuating that it's taken a long time. I think in the books, when they say a minute, that it means like quickly.
Like when I say it's been a minute since I've changed the picture down here, I let it go for like.
Yes.
You're supposed to remind me, Nettles.
I was going to once you finish the super chats.
Yeah, we never finish with anything here. I'm a book reader, but I'm loving how they're shaping the season. Putting Daron on the currency is in line with the Blackfire Rebellion. I thought of that too. The addition of Ormond being a major player, I like it. Yeah, I do too. I even like the Rhaena plot line at this point, even though I'm not saying it's better than if they had kept Nettles, but I like what they have done. I like the fleshing out of Alan and Adam. Even Corlys is fleshed out a bit. Otto and Viserys were well fleshed out from what they were in the books. I think, Daemon and Rhaenyra's characterizations, people are going to debate those left and right. But a lot of the smaller characters that were just a few lines have become actual characters, and they've mostly done really well. I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah. And trying to hold super, super closely to the books feels like it's been a losing effort ever since they made Alicent and Rhaenyra besties, like, in the very beginning. Like, yeah. Like, it's very clear they were going for a version of the story rather than, like, the most direct possible adaptation. So it's just like, as long as the version they're telling is self-consistent and good, I'll be happy.
And I will just always say, disclaimer, like, if you want to point out what you didn't like, feel free. Just, try to keep the F-bombs to a minimum. But you don't have to. This isn't like, we can only say positive things about the show. Like, yeah, we criticize it sometimes, and you can too. But I'm going to praise it when I think it does well, because I'm generally hoping to be entertained. I'm hoping the Dragon shows are pretty good. I'm not expecting faithful 100%, it's as good as Ice and Fire. Like, no, it's a TV show. But anyway.
No, yeah.
Manderley and Frey.
Worst, I was about to say, even at their worst, it's better than what, like, other shows out there. So it's like, and that comparison, like,
Yes.
Definitely, it's funny to see the rivalries from different eras not being like the Manderley and the Frey, Sabbath of Frey and Lord Manderley, Torrin Manderley. They're just chilling. There's no red wedding drama going on,
Yeah, I didn't even catch that little funny point, but that is a good one.
Reading Rhaegar, Nettles reading Rhaegar says, "I'm sure Laurys would love your foot on his neck."
Oh my god. Never.
Excellent. Well done, reading Rhaegar. Alicent wants Helena to do with her kids what she's not willing to do with Helena.
To give them up. I imagine. She wants her to give up the baby and Jaehaera. I mean, it is accurate, but also, like,
Helena's the only kid Alicent hasn't given up. She's given up Aemond and Aegon and Daron. So I'm not sure that's the problem.
I don't fault Alicent for not wanting to give up Helena, but yeah, it's an interesting point, I guess, to raise that, like, Alicent's effort to save Helena is forcing Helena to give up her own children, basically.
I think it's more of that generational trauma where Alicent gave up
Yeah.
Daeron, and now she's telling Helena, "Oh, you've got to give up one of your kids." It's just how it works, or whatever. And you understand the argument, but you also understand Helena being like, "No, these are my children. I'm a mother. What are you telling me?
Right.
Like, I'm going to protect them." Having a
Right.
potential baby son can be a huge threat to Rhaenyra. It's giving me Richard III vibes. Well, it's the same thing with Robb and Jane Westerling. Jane Westerling's potential Robb baby, and the Lannisters are trying to force feed her Moon Tea. So it's the same situation. I don't know Richard III very well, but I'll take your word for it. And we got those. If you could answer this question without spoilers, just where the heck is the cannibal? Are they going to save him for season 4? Well, I mean, I don't know what they're doing on the show with the cannibal. At this time in the books, he's just, hunting around Dragonstone. The only he only really plays one major role in the story, and that's later on. So potentially they would be saving him for season 4, yeah, or the very end of season 3.
I thought I heard Ryan Condal had said something that like opened the door to the idea of Cannibal and Grey Ghost, but I don't know if we know that they're gonna show up. But he like brought them up or something like that. So
Okay.
He did, I forget what it was exactly, but he did say something that was interpreted that way, as maybe we'll get them. Yeah. Rhaena and Baela both wanted to be heroes. The Gullet both handed them dreams destroyed in different ways. Yeah, it really is a good example of what war does to people. I also, that's right. Baela was like, I was going to be queen. I had forgotten that. Yeah, she was. My path was straightforward. I was going to be queen. Now I'll be married off to some lord. So yeah, I had forgotten about that, but that's pretty intense.
I mean, yeah.
Was waiting for Alice to get all witchy to defend herself with that last set of guys, but she probably let them physically attack her to get Aemon to defend and press her to please him. So I was wondering about that. What was she going to do if Aemon didn't show up? But it's hard to know where the limits of her awareness are. Maybe she knew he was going to show up. Yeah.
It also it did feel to me like that was her worst lie that she told the whole time. Like all these groups are showing up and asking where Aemond is, and she's always lying and like fairly convincingly. But then to them, she's like, he was never even here at all, and they know that's not true. So it's like she didn't stick to the same story that she had of like he was here and then he fled. She's just like, no,
like
he's
maybe
never
she
here.
was provoking them.
I don't know. Like it may have not been that. It may have just been like she just threw out a slightly different lie that they didn't buy, but I did catch like, oh, that's a less believable story than your other ones.
So Grey Waste Tim, user Grey Waste Tim, member for 57 months. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. A large group of flying bats is called a cauldron. So Alice the Weirwood Witch summoned a cauldron of bats.
Oh, that's super cool.
There you go.
I did not know that.
But I tend to agree that like she did this or let this happen so that Aemon could have a chance to defend her honor, and it would endear her to him. Reminds me of Ramsay, the way he broke Theon down, like just the intricacies of how like you have to set him up to save him type of thing, like same like to get that person to trust you on like a different level. And so him defending her means that she means something to him, and she needs that before she can proceed.
Yeah, it's like when you have someone do a favor for you or whatever, they like you more. Like when you rescue someone's life, like you have to justify, oh yeah, I must really like this person because I risked my life to fight 4 dudes to save her. Like she's getting that in on him.
Yep, I think we're probably best to assume that this is all a well choreographed manipulation for the most part. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. I just love the guys scaling the cliffs to the Godswood. It's just kind of epic approach to Harrenhal. They're just coming up from every different direction. So here's we got a Nettles-esque question. So Nettles, I'll let you respond to this first. I'm interested. It's a good question though. I find myself disappointed with the women's lack of agency and choices. The male characters are better fleshed out. And furthermore, there's a bigger struggle when you're writing in medieval times because the men have more agency. It's a patriarchal society. And so how do you, to put this question another way, why do modern women like to watch period dramas where women are so repressed? What is the compelling story there? What is it? The struggle? Is it the subtle art of sort of the soft politics that women have to employ? Obviously, it's the costumes. You see what I'm
It's
getting at
definitely
here,
the
Nettles? Like,
costumes.
how do you think they're doing with portraying women in this patriarchal society? Doing what they can.
Um, I mean, there's no excuse for them not being fleshed out. This idea that, oh, it's a patriarchy, it just doesn't hold, because look at how well Arya, Sansa were fleshed out. So like, just even going reaching that easily to find a comparison, like, it's just, there's no excuse for it other than just like poor writing, or I don't know why they've dropped the ball. It's something that I always talk about, so I definitely agree with that comment, is like the women not having agency or just not written out in an interesting way. Why is Ormond, like I said earlier, like written better? Like, so
Which
yeah, I
women do you
disagree with
think are being written better and worse? Let me put it that
women.
way. Which characters?
Um
Like,
uh
obviously Rhaenyra and Alicent are fleshed out. We can, argue about their agency or their consistency or whatever. But moving beyond those two characters, like,
I
Bela
could
is
see more from
interesting,
Alice.
but she's
Yeah,
not.
Bela, Reyna,
Yeah, Bela's not.
Lena.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was just listing like Lena, their mom. Like even going back
Lena was a
to season
footnote.
one.
Bela
Yeah.
is kind of whatever she needs to be in the different scenes. Reyna, I feel like, actually at this point has more of a plot than Bela.
Yeah. Like just think about it. Is there a woman villain? Like is there a woman that you hate? No, everyone is written.
Well, you hate
um
Mysaria.
yeah, I hate her. I do hate her, but I mean like she's done nothing wrong. She fought for the children, guys. In the books, she's orchestrating like I don't want to do a bookstore spoiler. She's doing really, really bad things. Like when you talk about Epstein list, like she's Ghislaine, okay, in the books. Just know that. Um, like, and so in the show, she's like never done anything wrong, and like try to give you a sad story about her dad. Like think about like every single woman like is more competent than the men around them. Like going back to last episode with the Footleys, like look at how the wife is, look at how the husband is, the phrase, like so I don't know, they're just give them
Lady
flaws,
Footly
give
seemed to
them
be the one.
agencies. Go
Lady
ahead.
Footly seemed to be the one who like actually stood up for herself and what they believed, whereas her husband was kind of meek and just
Yeah,
terrified and didn't want to lose his fancy hat.
yeah,
So
they were like that when Jace met with them seasons ago. So like literally there's no woman that's that's making bad decisions like we've seen before. um
Well, besides Alicent.
I, yeah,
Yeah, but even still, every bad decision she makes, but it was first you could point to something good or that she didn't know or was an accident.
I don't think I agree with that. I don't know if I want to open up an entire Alicent debate, but she definitely makes a
Yeah,
lot of bad decisions, right? I mean,
yeah.
definitely makes bad decisions, but I'm saying like, where was the intent coming from? Like I feel like they make it seem like it's coming from a good place, like that she's a good person making bad decisions versus her just
hmm.
being like a bad person. Like I see Melisandre as like a bad person in the show, like like
It is
that's what I meant.
interesting. Like Alice Rivers could end up being more of a villain once we figure out where she's exactly going. She did kill Lord Tully to help Daemon, which was probably in the end a self-serving attempt to get herself Harrenhal. Like, she's at least a somewhat scheming villain-ish character, but yeah, in
But
general, I
yeah,
do get what you're saying.
Yeah, Jane Eyre is a minor character. I mean, she's got cool presence, but she doesn't have a fleshed out
Yeah.
arc. She's definitely not a villain. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I think I agree with most of what you're saying. I definitely think there's validity in that general line of criticism. As I think about the female characters, some of the side characters, like, yeah, I feel like Alan is a little more realized than Bela or Reyna. Adam is not, but Alan is. Hugh
hmm
and Ulf, they get a little more development too. Yeah, I'm gonna say the complaint stands. I think it stands like so judged. Yep. I think
Cat made the bad decision of hanging around King's Landing just long enough to watch her husband fly in on a dragon and then leave for Tumbleton. I think that was a bad decision. It wasn't
You're still a
villainous,
good
but
person.
it was weird.
I don't necessarily crave like raw villainy. I'm more thinking about like how much thought have they put into the arc and motivations of the character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks for that super chat and that question. It is a constant sort of a running question with the show, I think.
Yeah.
And as an aspiring writer myself, like I'm always thinking about how to write men and women in medieval times and stuff like that. Let's see here. It seems that they are diving headlong into the Maester conspiracy with this episode. Ormond makes multiple references to generational plans. I need to go back and listen to everything Ormond said. So the vibe I got from that conversation was he was actually being honest. Like he's like, oh, I can't really do you favors anymore. It wouldn't be right for me. I didn't see that as him saying, oh, our secret plotting has to come to an end now.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that vibe too of like, hey, like, I'm doing you this solid because we've been tight for so long, but like, I also can't keep doing it. Like, if it had been full on Maester Hightower conspiracy, he would have probably been like, hey, I've always got your back. You know that. On the down low, here's your moon tea. Let me know if you need anything else. Like, he's like, no, like, Rhaenyra's in charge now. I have to serve whoever's in charge. So that was interesting.
Clearly more impressed with Alicent. Like he's like, oh, I should be humbled to say that I've ever served you. Like he clearly likes the Hightowers. He's got a bias for them, but he doesn't seem like a plotter based on this episode to me. Now, I do think they are implying Maester conspiracy in a lot of scenes throughout all the seasons. So we'll have to see how much they bring that forward. But obviously this makes sense as another faction of the sort of Hightower Old Town power. Which again, you need to give them something because they're going against a family with dragons. Coin in the boot like eggs ring in the boot. Yep. Dunk looks at Daemon's coins and mistakes them for Daeron the Good at first. Oh, that's Carolina Clay with more deep lore cuts. That's kind of funny. I wonder if they were thinking about that. I think it was also go ahead.
I was just gonna say also like, how did Ormond mint those coins? Is there like a mint or is he like blood? Like, you know,
Ormond's petty. He would put people on that.
Yeah. I guess they got nothing else to do. Like, they're just living in people's houses, harassing them if he doesn't give them something to keep busy with. So yeah.
I thought it was a cool plot device because it was a way for Daemon, when he slapped it on the desk in front of Rhaenyra, and be like, "Here's Daeron. We've met him now. His face is on a gold coin, and Ormond has declared him king. We should have burned him when we had the chance." Like, that was a pretty dope scene.
Yeah.
Another problem.
Go ahead.
That was it. I'm just saying, here, that he puts that coin on the table. Here's another problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, that I will bring up about this episode, I don't know if you guys felt the same, but, like, when we got the preview after last episode, I thought there was going to be, like, a bunch of that stuff in this week, but it was obviously a preview of the rest of the season. But, like, that was the one line people were like, we should have burned them when we had the chance, and, like, everyone's like, what makes Daemon say that? And obviously it's now the coin and the issues with the gold cloaks, but, like, yeah, that was the only thing that I feel like kind of, I was more hyped for this episode than what it actually contained because they showed us a bunch of stuff that's going to happen in the next few episodes. But
I have a question.
I don't know if you guys thought the same.
Oh.
Yes, Nettles in the chat, your question?
No. I don't watch the previews, so I didn't
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that they used that.
Yeah, so like in the previews, I think it was just a preview for the whole rest of the season because they had that line, they had a bunch of other stuff, they had like battles that people were like charging into. So I was like,
it's in the weeks
we're gonna
ahead.
get like a battle this. Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna get like at least one battle this episode, and we didn't. I was like, I see what happened now. But, yeah.
Just aiming, killing those 4 dudes. That's it. This is a cool one from Melon Musk here. I think it might have been the unhappy gold cloaks who killed Luther and the Watchmen. There's no other way simple small folk could assassinate them in their own barracks. So there could be Hightower soldiers that have infiltrated the city. Like Ormond may have actual men at arms in places. Like it's King's Landing. A lot of people come in and out. However, this is an interesting idea. There was some unrest in the ranks. Now that's you got to be pretty mad at your superior to do something like this. But it's not impossible. That's interesting.
I
Yeah.
did get that vibe as well. Like the
Okay.
combination of like because they mentioned how Damon's been 20 years away and like a lot of these people don't know him. And
Yeah.
then like a good chunk of them were probably loyal to the High Towers, whereas if your
Aegon.
superiors go against it, you shut up and just lay low. But then you're also now not getting paid, and like someone comes along and offers you a different gold coin, and it's like, okay. Like yeah, I do get the vibe that we could end up with some gold cloak traders as well.
Very, very good theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is very possible. That's a
If it's
great.
not that, then someone who knows the tunnel system very well, who can
Yeah.
pop in and out from under floorboards. But my question was Damon insinuating that they were paid one coin to kill a gold cloak? Because when he put the coin down, he said, "This is the cost of our humiliation." Was he trying to say like this is how like cheap
I
it was,
I
or is he
think
just showing an
yeah, I
example?
think a gold dragon for a random peasant who like has no prospects, I feel like it's kind of a lot, right? So like if you're offering them a gold dragon per kill or something like that, they're sitting there like, okay, I can make 10 gold dragons over the next, 10 nights if they're ambitious and think that they can if they're a flea bottom gutter rat who's used to cutting people open, like that seems like a pretty
Okay.
good deal.
I didn't know it was a gold dragon. I couldn't tell because I thought it was just a new unit of measurement, I guess, since it
Well,
had a
it's a
different
gold
kingdom.
coin if you melted it
But it's a gold,
down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now
But
that you're saying that, I'm like, okay, of course.
I
Yeah.
think that so I'm thinking back to the Feast for Crows prologue where Pate the novice wants a gold coin so he can marry Rosie or whatever, and he's
Yeah.
desperate to get it. He doesn't know how to get it. He basically steals from the Citadel in order
Mhm.
to get it. I think that the only person that would risk their life to carry out a grisly murder for a gold coin is like somebody that is definitely pretty broke. Like if you weren't broke, you'd have to offer like 100 golden dragons. You know what I mean? Like to carry out a crazy ass murder like that. So it may or may not be a reference to how cheap the lives were bought. I think it was mostly about the audacity of minting it in Daron's name. That was how I read
Okay.
it. I wish we had Eamon's dreams on screen. I don't know. They sound pretty terrifying. I don't know if I'd want to. I thought it was, in all seriousness, more effective to just have him describe it. You know.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if we do get one or two, but yeah, like the dreams about the brother, him waking up and saying what he saw is probably enough. But I hope we do
And
get one or two.
and he was visibly shaken. Like that's another thing. He was like,
Yeah.
my brother." Like that tells us a lot more than just seeing the dream.
And
Yeah.
also, like Eamon's feelings for his brother are complicated. He's like, I used to look up, I worshipped him, and he,
Yeah.
made fun of me and played jokes on me. So, like, yeah, there's
Yeah.
love and hate there, which is kind of
The,
compelling.
the,
And then also, Eamon, the question I want to pose is: these are psychic dragon lords, like to some degree, all the dragon lords have a psychic bond with their dragons. They occasionally get these prophetic dreams. Is the fact that Aegon is over there constantly hating Aemond? Can Aemond feel that? Is that part of what Aemond is feeling in the dreams? Like these are brothers. They might
Maybe.
be connected
yeah.
a little bit. He could be feeling some of those vibes. Like Aegon is, that's all he talks about is killing his brother.
That's a good
Yeah,
point. Yeah.
that is a good point. I had in my notes, Rhaenyra when she says a cold presentiment, and it's kind of what you're talking about. I think the Targaryens that are able to bond to their dragon automatically just, even if all it does is just put them up like a step on the ladder of being connected to things, like it shows how she's connected to something because she's talking about this cold presentiment, which opposite of fire is cold ice. So it immediately got me thinking about the others, and she's telling them, I feel something actively pushing back at me. What is she talking about? Is it like a dream or is it like a feeling? But we don't know what it is, but it shows that she's tapped into something. So I thought that line was interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice putting it right in the middle. Like, is this more of a psychic intuition, or is this how you'd feel if there really was this plot afoot in your streets and your people are dying and you're like, there's some insidious enemy. Like, they're basically right. They're talking about Ormond. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it went from a strategy meeting about I think there's a hidden hand behind all these. This seems coordinated to her sort of saying, the gods, have they withdrawn their favor? They sent me this dragon, and if they want me to be queen, then why are they throwing all these things? And Damon's like, do you think it wasn't going to be challenged? Like, this is how it is. You're a warlord. You have to break these people's necks and burn them with your dragons.
Hmm.
I made a note. I love Damon in his high Valyrian. He goes into that high dismissive voice of like, "Did you think it would be always summer with never snow, a glorious ascension?" Just like kind of like poking fun at her, but the high dismissive voice while speaking high Valyrian, I thought was just very funny.
It was. You're totally right. It was.
But also I was gonna say too, like it is really an interesting way of like you see what happens when you take the things going well for you as a sign from the gods, then suddenly when something goes bad you're like, oh no, the gods are mad. Like it is the sort of danger of being like the magical thinking of like, oh my god, I have this dragon now because the gods have chosen me. It's like, oh shoot, now that things are going bad, the gods must have forsaken me. Like it's a double-edged
True.
sword when you do that. And also, it's not paranoia if everyone is actually out to get you. So,
You're right. Shades of the Mad King's position here. Yeah.
yep, 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 exactly. So,
Still no Dreamfire. We're still on Dreamfire watch, guys. Still no. She wanted to see the moon, but not Dreamfire. Do you think Daemon disobeys Rhaenyra's order because she's a woman, or because he has a problem with authority? Yes and yes. Daemon gave Viserys a lot of trouble too. Yeah, I think I would put it 60 to 70 on the problem with authority, and maybe like 30%. Because you're right, he disobeyed Viserys too. It's just kind of Daemon's thing.
Yeah.
he thinks he
I
should be in charge.
He
Yeah.
does.
and
He
yeah,
had
I
the
tend
weird
to agree
dreams,
with
but
that.
he's not reformed. Not all the way. Go ahead, Nettles.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying I agree with that. I think that this is like Rhaenyra almost expects him to, because she's still like acting off of that stimulus that he always challenges me because I'm a woman. But I think since the Harrenhal, he's off of that. Like he wants her to be the ruler. He's fine with that. He knows his place kind of. And I think that his point about the gold cloaks was right. Like I agreed with Damon. Like they
Yeah.
need to take care of this. He cannot leave right now, because if they don't have gold cloaks, they don't have anything. They don't have an army. And I think Damon knows that the Tully or the Tullys won't be making it to King's Landing for some reason. Like, so we can't count on them. Like, we have no army, so we can't lose them. So, but it just so happens because of his past, Rhaenyra is primed to think that anything he says against her is like, oh, it's because I'm a woman, instead of it just being right, because he's done that in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Rhaenyra does come around, right? Like Rhaenyra does come around to be like, okay, yeah, we do kind of need to get this gold cloak situation under control. So I think by the end, I've only watched it the once, obviously, but I think by the end of the episode, even she kind of realizes like, okay, yeah, maybe you were right.
So yeah, two things. So one, in Daemon's speech to the Gold Cloaks, the thing that he connected with them on was not the promises of the gold of Yi and Dorne. It was saying, hey, by the way, our job's really important. If we don't hold the city together, it's going to fall apart. You guys live in King's Landing. Do you want to be in a lawless city? Be like, no, remember why you signed up for this. Now is the most important time for us to do our job. And so that was also emphasizing the importance of the gold cloak. So I think I agree with you guys. Like Damon was probably right in that disagreement. Rhaenyra's in this unfortunate position where like everything's important, but you can't solve everything at once. And so
Yes.
she has to make these awful choices. That was the whole point of taking the gold out of King's Landing before she took it. So we've covered that. The other thing is that I can't remember two things, guys. Who are we kidding? I
I,
don't
I
know.
will
It's
say, for
so
better or
hard.
worse, I relate to Damon. Like when an authority figure tells you to do something that you know is not the correct move, you have to be like, I'm just gonna do the right thing anyway.
So that is
I
my other
relate to
point.
that.
Thank you. Is that we do see there is still a little bit of a patronizing, paternalistic thing with Damon, where he's telling Luther, like, hey, you don't got to do like everything she says exactly
Yeah.
the same, you know? So it's shades of like Jaime telling the other Kingsguard, you don't have to do everything that Joffrey says. And Joffrey
Yeah,
was
the
a
king is
minor.
13.
Rhaenyra is not. So
Yeah.
there is definitely that aspect. Even if he's right, he's still treating her with like a, just pat her on the head and say, sure thing, Queenie, and then go do the smart man thing. That is still there. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. He's not openly disloyal. He's loyal to Rhaenyra. He thinks he's helping her, keep her throne.
Yeah.
But he still thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. So.
Yes. And the cleverest.
And he sometimes is right. He's certainly not incompetent. He's highly competent, and he knows.
Well, that's
his
what he
business.
said to Manderley.
What's that?
Remember, that's what he said to That's what he said to Manderley. I'm the cleverest in the room.
I do the thinking around here, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
There was one time in high school football when I was told by one of the upperclassmen, he was just like, yeah, you see that play we scored on? That's not the play the offensive coordinator called. Sometimes you just need to do the right thing, even if they send in a different play. I was like, okay, good to know. It's like freshmen being told that by like one of the upperclassmen. I'm like, he's like, our coaches kind of suck. Like, you gotta sometimes do something else. It's
What
like,
position did you play, Michael?
I was a quarterback.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
You can see that. See that. I was trying to figure out what position energy do you have. So.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have the long hair back then. We had a dress code. No facial hair, no hair past whatever on the neck.
Oh, wouldn't even recognize you. Wouldn't even recognize you.
No.
And he thought, I briefly considered shaving my beard into a Fu Manchu shape and putting on my cowboy hat, but I didn't want to do a cheap imitation of your look like that. I have some respect, so.
You could probably pull it off, I'm sure.
It would have been a pale shadow. Any guesses on how they got Joffrey back from the Vale? Thought he and the little ones were going to Pentos.
Joff was never going. He was always in the Vale.
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
I think
Yeah, those are separate
like,
questions.
Yeah. I don't know. They'll be where they need to be out of convenience in the show. Because in the show, I think they kind of did insinuate that all the boys were going. We know in the books only the silver-haired boys leave.
No. In the show, they made it clear that Joffrey was to remain there because his dragon was the one to guard the Vale, even though it was obviously too small to do so.
Okay.
So then, when Daemon arrived for the gold, Joffrey had already left. Yeah, so he must have just been traveling under guard. But I don't know if anyone else had the moment of, like, when we see this kid sleeping in bed, I'm like, who is that? Like, wait, what kid is this? And then there's just Joffrey. I'm like, oh, of course. Okay, that makes sense. But
Jaehaera at this point has more development than Joffrey.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had just in my notes that like I questioned like what were they trying to tell us with why didn't Rhaenyra go at once to Joffrey when that handmaiden came to tell her, because it seemed like a prolonged scene where we're supposed to like intuit something from it because she's having this important talk with Daemon, she gets interrupted, and then she only for her to say no, I'm not going to go see him. Like you would think that Rhaenyra would be running to go and take a look at him, only because she's over here like yelling about how she can't suffer to have their name tarnished. That's why she had to send the gold cloaks and figure out who painted the strong sigil on the wall. Like just that, like she felt like she had to defend her boy's honor. She loves them so much, but had a chance to see one of them, she's like, oh no, I'll do it later. So like, I was wondering what they were trying to tell us with that. And then like at the end, like the payoff is she does go to see him. So it's like, I don't know. I felt like let me just finish. I felt like it was kind of like in the books how oh my gosh, how King Bran, how Bran says that Ned puts on he has the face of the father, he has the face of the Lord. So I felt like Rhaenyra had to put on the face of the queen and she couldn't put on the face of the mother, and like run to her son at first. And then in the end we see that she's she did put on the face of the mother because there she is, even just to watch him sleep.
Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what it was. They're just showing she doesn't have time to be a parent to the kids she has left, even as she's distraught over the kids she's lost. And to answer your earlier question, I think the sensitivity about the bastards and the strong thing is more about her than the kids. Yeah. And she said that. She's like, it's a challenge to my legitimacy. So.
Yeah. I got the vibe too of like, yeah, she's just so overwhelmed that she just doesn't have time to go see her kid. But also there is a bit of like, is it that she doesn't really want to look at Joffrey, who looks like the two sons that she's lost right now? Like she, like it would be very emotional, and like if he's awake, it's the first time they've spoken since Jace's death. Like they're probably gonna have to have a conversation about that, So it
True.
would have been just a big emotional
Great
thing
point. She's
as
like,
well.
oh yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to answer this message or call this person back until
Right
later
now.
after I've done my work because I might cry a little bit or swear,
Yeah.
and I'm just not ready for that yet. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Good point. Let's go back to our generous and supportive fans of the show who are hanging out with us on the after show. Appreciate y'all. I was definitely referring to Ormond. He's great. We could have had Allison as delicious villain. Oh, this is following up on the question about the character development and the villainous female characters and stuff. So it's Jezza Louise. We could have had Allison as a delicious villain in her own religious dogma and Rey with her own entitlement. So some of the stuff that's working for Ormond could have made Allison perhaps a bit more like Book Allison. I think that's a valid point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good insight, actually.
Also, speaking of women being villains, Rhaenyra banning Ulf from the pub last week, which I didn't get to talk to you guys about. The most villainous thing yet in the entire show. So,
You got it.
she's evolving into a villain before our very eyes.
I do. So I'll see if I can remember two things here to respond to the super chat. One, we are seeing Rhaenyra's entitlement. She thinks the gods have blessed her with divine favor to rule over people. I mean, this is the height of the divine right of kings, essentially. And she's like, oh, they sent me the sign. They sent me Adam the Dragon Rider and these other Dragon Riders. So surely, there's a humility in it because it's like, oh, well, God has given me this holy mission as opposed to pounding the table. I am the emperor. I mean, it's a little different than that, but it's definitely entitled. Now, as far as the Ulf conversation, Michael talks about stuff, I figured something out. I think I know who Ulf's friend is. The friend, he says, oh, he needs an estate out in the country and an exemption from all taxes. His friend is Elon Musk. He wants to build a day center near King's Landing, and he needs a plot of land and tax exemptions. It's a data center. It might be that Kevin guy from Shark Tank. I don't know. It's one of them.
I made a post on my channel of like, we finally get to figure out Torrin Manderley's tax policy, and then someone asked my tax policy. I said the exact same as Ulf's buddy. Taxes for everyone but me in a nice estate outside Rosby for my troubles. So I can relate. Understandable position from him.
It's a pretty good setup. You could do anything on that property,
Yeah.
Weird leftist insert BS. No, actually right-wingers oppose data centers too. That's just wrong. In fact, the right is classically the party that is against, that is pro-privacy. So you didn't have to delete the message. It's just not consistent with right-wing values. So I'm going to call you on that. It's not.
I will say, since we're on the subject of data centers, I wasn't going to bring it up, but does Ormond look to anyone else like a Chad Sam Altman? Like if Sam Altman was just square-jawed medieval lord instead of like a AI nerd?
I think the actor said he's playing him like a tech bro, kind of.
Yeah. I got that vibe, and he's got kind of the same hair color and kind of the same facials, like certain facial features. But Ormond is obviously a lot more of a Chad. So I was like, oh, this guy looks familiar for some reason. And then as he was like freaking out last episode, I'm like, he kind of looks like Sam Altman.
I don't have an Ormond picture somehow on here. I thought that I opened it, but yeah. Anyway, all right.
Random. Did we get the rest of the like night vows in this episode, like what Kristen Cole was saying. That
Oh,
bit he was
I gotta say, I tuned his speech out. I was watching I was like, some bullshit about the father. Anyway, I was looking at what was
yeah, he's like the
happening.
father, the mother, the crone, and so I wonder. And then it was like a montage of scenes. So I thought maybe that was the rest of it,
Yeah,
which would be that'd be rich coming from the worst person to ever put on a white cloak, the worst example of a knight. That he would be the vehicle that we hear the rest of it.
I like that
yeah,
Kristen thinks of himself as the greatest warrior in the realm. That's like he's
yeah,
been waiting to uncork that one.
yeah. Yeah, he's been like, no one else has said it, so dang it, I'm gonna say it. I'm the best. Like I trained Aemond. I've been the master of fighting for my entire life. I beat Daemon in a tourney. Like, I am the best. I am gonna die the best, dang it.
I'm trying to figure out how we got a rando data center supporter in the chat.
Or
All
I
I'm
did
saying
everything
is, like,
that
if it's such a profitable thing, then why do they need all the tax breaks? That's all I'm saying. Do you think the Gold Cloaks arranged as the Last Supper is foreshadowing of a war with the Faith? I don't think it was meant that way. I just thought it was epic, and you know, uh, I mean, I guess they're combining the Last Supper with the A Feast for Crows title, right? A Feast for Traitors. So,
Yeah, I took it as a Feast for Crows reference for sure. Like,
I mean, there is warring with the High Towers is like going to war with the Faith, but there's not going to be a whole Faith militant thing, you know. That
yeah.
would be a different show.
yeah.
That would be if they adapted Maegor the Cruel. Just joined, not sure if this was covered. Did Rhaenyra and the Wolves place the caltrops to deplete Cole's horses? That would have been like the Rivermen or maybe Roddy the Ruin who did that. It was unclear to me. Is Cole
Yeah.
going mirror show Stannis in his final battle? Um, we
It's a
can't talk
fuzzy
about that
mirror.
until the spoiler section. But yes, it
Yeah.
was either the Rivermen or Roddy the Ruin setting those. The coin is a shout out to Daemon Blackfire. The Gold Cloaks was a shout out to the Corpse Feast before the Butcher's Ball. Book fan service crap.
Crap.
Well, like I said, I do think they recycle stuff from the books when they're making up new stuff, which is probably a good idea for the most part. You're right that it was a version of the Butcher's Ball, not the Butcher's Ball, the pre-Butcher's Ball Corpse Feasts. Yes, it does seem like we're using that idea. And Tim was going on about Damon Blackfire in the chat as well. But yes, minting your own coins. That's what you got to do. Wyman Manderley wants to mint coins for Rob. Because if you're going to be a king, it's one of those signs of legitimacy. It's like, if you don't have your own coins, what kind of king are you? A
Death
tyrant
to all
to deny a
Blackfire.
sot their soul satisfaction. Yeah, it's tyrannical. It was keeping Ulf out of the tavern. Michael's got you. Ulf's
Some of
friend
us,
might be
some of them in the city might think our queen is unkind.
dialogue. There was 10 out of 10, both on the writing and the delivery. Just magnificent. Love
Yeah.
that scene. Ulf's friend might be Team Green, trying to get immunity after helping slaughter the Gold Cloaks. Well, I mean, that was a couple weeks ago. I mean, it was last week. I don't know if the Gold Cloak murders had started yet. I got the
I
impression it was just old tavern debts that Ol was trying to pay off now that he's wealthy or connected or whatever.
It's
Who
just
knows?
like, yeah, his buddies assume I got the vibe that his buddies assume he is way richer and more powerful than he is now because he has a dragon, where, like, he shows up and he's got no actual money because they don't have a treasury, and they're like, oh, you're buying a round of drinks for everyone, when he was asking, like, he asks for everyone, and they're like, you hear that? Drinks for everyone! And they take all of his money, and then they're asking for ridiculous favors that he doesn't have the ability to follow through on because they assume, like, oh man, our boy made it. Now we're getting everything. We're all getting a penthouse. We're all getting land. We're all getting exemptions. Everyone's coming up with Ulf. And it's like, no, he can't even do what he wants.
I just figure he's got like 2 or 3 people that he's owed money to for a long time, and he's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I do owe you guys. All right, let me see what I can do."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think someone involved in the Gold Cloak murders was at the Rat Feast, thus the feast for traitors? Well, that's the thing is, when you create enemies, you never know Which
Yeah.
ones, how much they hate you. So certainly, yeah, probably some of those lords at that feast are some of the ones that Ormond might be in contact with. Absolutely. You know, in a city like King's Landing, some people are going to be loyal to one side, some people the other, and a lot of people are just trying to survive and they're caught in the middle. But there are no doubt lords that think Rhaenyra is an abomination and the strong kids are bastards and how dare they a woman on the throne, and you know, there's going to be some people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if we answered the super chat. What's Sabbath a master of on the small council? Is she just like an advisor? I think that's.
Do we have a master of laws?
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like it was probably said somewhere and I didn't catch it.
I don't think
Yeah, I
maybe that's
didn't.
her
I
position.
think. I think they didn't say what position she was. She's
But
not
I'm
in the
saying,
Master of Law's chair, which was always right next to, like to the left of the king or queen.
ah,
At least that's where Jasper sat. So I get the feeling that she's just been given like a random advisory role because they're trying to make up for not giving her Harrenhal. But
okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know that you have to have a master of position to sit on the council. Like, you know, Dorne has a seat on the council in the main story, and Dorne doesn't go there. He sends Oberyn
right.
to take his seat, but they don't name him master of anything. So,
And like Allison was just like an advisor when she was on the small council, and that's what Aemond uses to fire her, is be like, hey, you don't even have a master of position here. I don't need to replace you. You're dismissed.
Yeah.
Like I don't, what do you do here, Mom?
Yeah.
what is it that you do here? Well, I come into work and first I space out for a couple hours. What do you mean
Yeah.
space out? Anyway. Okay, so we have caught up with the super chats, and thank you for catching us on the rewatch. Let's see what we have not talked about. I'm going to go over my list of topics here.
Check mine as well.
I hit all my notes, but we haven't finished the pictures.
Oh.
We haven't finished the pictures. Oh, I've just been sort of cycling through. Go ahead, Michael.
At the end, when Kristen Cole was giving his like speech, did Gwaine like walk away? Like I caught Gwaine was walking off into the forest. Is he like abandoning Cole? I guess we don't really know, but that was kind of the vibe I got, is him being like, okay, I'm done with this. Like you almost marched us to death. I gave it one last shot to talk you out of it. You're now giving a like, we're all gonna die gloriously kind of speech. I'm out of here. But Cole like looked at him as he walked off into the forest and then just kept going.
Gwaine's just
I would
walking.
do
He
it.
doesn't know when he's going to stop. He's just walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people got that impression in the chat. It looks like.
I hope he does. I wish he would. Save yourself, Gwen.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
I think
got
Butcher's
something to
Ball's
live
coming
for. He's
next
got a
week.
nice home to go back to. Cole does not, obviously, so
I'm going to go run up
I
the
imagine
tower.
he is gonna
Race myself up the tower. I liked it when Alice Rivers said Harrenhal the castle breathes. You know, I
Yes.
like all her witchy monologues myself. She talks about the castle being thirsty.
Yes, that
And
was
the-
good.
Stones mortared with blood and the ghosts and all that little Harrenhal history. You know, one thing we didn't mention with Aemon's dreams, he's talking about his brother, and he even says Helena saw it, and he's like, "I've ruined it all." Like, is he having doubt there? Seems like it.
Yeah.
I
I think if
imagine the
no one-
castle's breaking him down like it did Damon. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think out of everyone who believes Helena, I think he does. He's seen her visions come true in the past. Even if it was like, we're having pizza on Monday. Like, even if it's something like that. But so he believes her. I think that's part of why he went to Harrenhal in the first place. He didn't believe Allison. He knew that Allison was setting him up for something. But I think even in a way he might be having feelings of marching to his death because of what Helena said.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
the
think
other thing that-
he's not given up like Aemond, but there is that sense of a fate that he might want to try to avoid.
Yeah.
Little,
That's
I
the
mean,
other thing
we
that I
are
found
doing the
really
Oedipus
funny.
plot, right? Sorry, Michael, go ahead.
He called Allison mother.
Yes,
mean,
he literally called her
Or
mother.
Alice, rather. He called Alice mother, like, and hugs her. So he's got those mommy issues still fully on display. But I did find it really funny earlier in the season as well when Helena is like, yeah, Aemond is scared. And it's like, well, yeah, last time you talked to him, you told him you can see the future and that he's gonna die. And like, of course he's scared. What are you talking about, Helena? You put the fear of God into him with your little balcony chat there.
Yeah,
So
I think you're right. He's that's the thing about the Harrenhal sequence. It's got to break you down so it can give you a new purpose.
yeah.
Let's see here.
I liked when they were talking about Miriam Martell and like the High Tower histories,
Oh
and
yeah.
Darren calls it a dry history, and Ormond's like, dry? Our ancestry is
I'm sorry,
amazing. What
sir.
are you
No, not
talking
Dryman. Very interesting, and I'm so privileged to study it. Please don't beat me.
about? I meant other people might find it dry, not me, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty funny. I did like the Miriam Martell Yellow Toad of Dorne.
Yeah.
I won't call it admiration because he still fails to note, oh, she's hideously ugly and blind, this and that. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
the only woman ever who had a mind for
Yeah.
military strategy. Love that. It's like, oh, so it's possible, but this is the only time it's ever happened. Like, this is not a coherent theory.
And the gods to even it out made her really ugly. That's how you know. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only way a woman can be like a man is if she's
Not like
really
me.
ugly.
Ormond,
No,
am
I
brilliant and handsome.
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely. I definitely read admiration in that, which I was like, oh, I'm like, I didn't know people of the Reach liked Dorn or gave him credit for anything. Great. I like that.
You're right. The writers dropped the ball, chat. Ormond should have been most proud of the fact that she, well, was she still alive when Rhaenys and Meraxes were shot down? Somebody check on Yellow
Um,
Toad's death date. I think she might have been dead by then.
this
She
is one of the
died
questions I used
in
to know.
13 AC.
No, she did kill the dragon, quote unquote, kind of sort. I mean, it was at the
Okay.
Hellhole, but yeah, Ormond could have added that on. She kept Dorne unbowed, unbent, unbroken, and then they brought down the dragon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She died from a heart attack with a very young lover. Sean, you just made that up. No, she didn't. I need to know. You made that up, didn't you? That'd be legendary.
I think it was a heart attack. I don't remember the lover part.
Okay.
What in the Kevin Samuels is going on?
uh,
That was dark propaganda. Anyways,
okay, yeah. Like Sean was adding, he was extemporizing there. Okay, let's
I
go ahead
think
and
she did
declare
have.
it spoilers. Spoilers all. Spoilers, fire
Okay,
and
cool.
blood. Because that's mostly what we're doing is cleaning up here now. So to go back to the Bela Allen thing, there was a super chat. Thank you. In the books, it's Bela and Alan. Alan who becomes Alan Oakenfist. And Bela marries him and they continue the line of House Velaryon. So here we have Adam. Like a knight in shining dragon armor, I'll come rescue you from your husband. This is a very romantic thing to say. That was not a platonic thing to say. And he's all
He had
watching out
hair.
for her. Oh, you got to eat, Bela. You got to take care of yourself, Bela.
That's why they had that line of he even said it in front of the council, like look at how I'm concerned about her. So, in the books though, Rhaena and not Rhaena, Bela and Alan, they have a tumultuous relationship because Alan cheats on her a lot. Like they break up and get back together.
Right.
So that's
Right.
why I'm saying like if I was a writer, I would have it that she falls in love truly with Adam first but he dies, and so that's why she goes to his brother again. So like it could be like Alan has like this relationship with her where he's like, I'm married to you, but I know you'd be with my brother if he was alive, so I'm second to my brother, and that like leads to why he's cheating and having these
Yeah.
affairs, and they're breaking up and coming back because like that's like a big hole to get over.
I think you sniffed it out, Nettles. I think this is going to be just to create a little bit of drama, just a whisper of drama between Adam and Alan. They're creating a little bit of a love triangle. I won't pass judge. We'll have to see how it plays out. But that's really the only reason to create this little romantic tension, because either that or they're just going to change history and Bela's going to marry Adam. But I don't. That doesn't make sense, because of course Adam dies at Second Tumbleton, so that would be like a complete crazy rewrite.
Yeah, it'd be weird to keep a dragon rider alive in that way. Like,
So
but
we'll
I
see.
mean,
I predict Nettles is right, and it's going to be a little bit of love triangle. And it makes sense. They're both dragon riders. They have a lot of shared, things in common, similar culture, So there's, I mean, it makes sense that they might be having some amount of feelings. But yeah, we'll just see where they go with that on the show. What were the other spoiler? Oh yes, so Roddy the Ruin and the Butcher's Ball. Obviously, Kristen Cole. It's like, oh, songs will be sung about me, and Allison herself. You felt like that's what he was building up to. Like he's peeling away these layers of black hole delusion and all this depressive stuff. And it's like, oh, you want to be remembered in a song, and you want Allison to hear the song and be sad about you. And you're like, oh, Kristen, he was such a good man, and all this. Like, of course, at Butcher's Ball, what happens?
Yeah, he's going to meet that end, but maybe not as gloriously as he would like.
He slips on a banana peel and then like falls on a nail, like the most unceremonious death. Like just
yes. So he goes to treat with Roddy the Ruin and Pate the Lion Slayer and Garibald Gray, and essentially he's like, let's have a fight, me versus you three. Let's fight right here, because basically his army is outnumbered. He doesn't have any hope, and so what Kristen is essentially doing is trying to throw his life away and not have to deal with a battle. He's like, oh, I'll fight all three of you, and then they just fill him full of arrows and like, we'll have no songs sung about how bravely you died, Kingmaker, and they pump him full of quarrels. So they're surely going to use that line, having set it up so well.
Yep. This is the build-up.
He steps on a rake.
I also love... I loved Gwen's, like, face of just, like, oh my god, he's marching us all to our death just so my sister can hear how brave he was. Like, that's so dumb, Kristen. Stop it. Like, Gwen is just, like, shocked and frozen. He's just, like, covered in mud. He's like, that's why we're doing this? Yeah, he's like, that's why? So that my sister can hear about you in a song? You idiot.
No, I think here with 1,000 Voices has it. Christ and Cole is putting himself up on the cross, basically, here. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
His life has been so hard.
Here's a good question from Momo. Mysaria, is she failing to catch the plots against the Gold Cloaks, or is she letting them flourish?
I don't get that vibe from anything that we've seen. It would surprise me if she was, but also she does have that like undermining Damon aspect that Allison was trying to play on here, so. But I think that kind of undermines her more than Damon, if as Master of Whispers she can't fix this. So.
I agree, yeah, I think so. I think she's trying to help Rhaenyra rule King's Landing. I think we're supposed to read Mysaria as being genuinely concerned for the small folk. That's the whole point of her backstory. So I think she's trying to help Rhaenyra, and I don't think she's a part of those murders. But we should always be asking the question with Lares and Mysaria and Alice, what are they up to? Yeah.
Someone also, I saw the question raised after the graffiti on the wall of like, could the strong sigil be because it's one of Larys's agents who is writing the Queen of Bastards on the wall? I don't think that that's what it's meant to be, but also it wouldn't surprise me if whatever agents are still loyal to Larys are there trying to undermine Rhaenyra somehow, and putting a strong sigil there is just a little... It's a good way to do that, but it could be a little allusion to Larys anyway.
So the chat wants some polls. I think they're asking for the Gwen and Kristen or Aegon and Lares comedy duo poll, but we should think of a couple others too. Maynard Plum, they've asked. Let's do it. Are there any other comedy duos?
Manderly and Frey.
Okay.
The whispering at the table.
Yeah. Or could it be Manderly and Damon? They're back and forths. Like I'm the clever one around here. Um, do we have one more comedy duo?
It's mostly Allison and Helena.
I mean,
Sort
yeah.
of. Yeah.
That goose chase.
Yeah. Well, they're trapped inside the walls now. I can't wait to see what happens there.
Yeah, we've totally spaced on that. What the cat like scared Helena and she dropped the lamp and then Allison dropped the lamp and now they're in the dark and the wall with the passage was sealed.
The cat was very upset about a closed door. The cat's like, "Hey, I hear something on the other side. I don't like closed doors." And Helena's like, "Oh my god, I didn't know there was a door there." Like she holds the candle up and it like she can feel the air changing or whatever, like the candle flame like shows the air flowing through the little crack. But yeah,
What's
I don't
the
know
point of that? Is that just like a scary cliffhanger? They're going to be fine next week, or like?
I think so,
We're
or
gonna be
like
fine next week.
they'll come to the room and be like, "Oh shit, they escaped. Like what happens now?" Like, you know.
Yeah, they're just stuck in the walls now. They're just stuck in there.
Yeah, they're stuck in the walls, but Rhaenyra thinks that they've escaped, and like hijinks ensues, basically.
Wait, I hear a meowing coming from this passage. Yeah, I'm sure they can get back into the bedroom if they want to.
I would think.
Well,
They may have had to steal it up so no one could follow them, is I'm sure what happened. But like you would think that the secret passages, although okay, I guess if you're designing a secret escape passage, you wouldn't want it openable from that way necessarily, right? Like you don't want the access to the bedroom you're staying in from the outside. Like if it's got a one-way lock, you go the other way. But
Rhaenyra, my enemies, they're in the walls. I'm telling you.
yeah, yeah,
That might be a line.
yeah.
There was another path. The cat took it. Yeah, they're not stuck though.
But they also did lose their light. They dropped the light, so they might not be able to find their way necessarily. That's the other question as well.
So real quick, I do want to thank all the new patrons that have joined this week. I've been a lot of new subs and patrons and stuff, so I appreciate that. If you do sign up for our Patreon, you get an invite to our Discord, and you can join Patreon for free. Just to stay up with what I'm doing and stuff, and get an invite to the Discord. You also get one if you join the channel member squishers with the join button below. So we appreciate y'all keeping the Discord fun and friendly. Lots of nice people in there. Lots of people from the chat in there. Let's see. I guess the high towers do not light the way. Boom. Yeah, high towers losing their light. Maybe that's symbolism too.
They don't light the way.
Liar of the week. Let's see. How many liars did we have? Obviously, Allison was lying. Who else
Can you
was
win liar of the week if you get called out on your tell that directly, though? I mean, that's embarrassing for a liar.
Kristen Cole lying about his intention with Gwen. Gwen finding out that Kristen Cole was lying, or
a little bit of a reveal on the lying. Alice Rivers was lying to everyone
about where Aemond is. Yeah. Oh yeah, Allison. Someone in the chat. Allison with the moon tea. That's a funnier lie.
Allison.
Oh yeah. What are the side effects of chugging that much moon tea like that? She's gonna have like a bad stomach ache or something, right? Like.
Yeah.
The guardsman with the mismatched eyes could be Perkin the Flea.
Somebody said Daemon is still lying about Sheep Stealer. And I also felt like that was kind of motivation because Daemon was acting funny. Like he wants to be away from Rhaenyra because he feels like if he's near her, he'll tell her the truth. Or he's just like, something about the way he was acting was like acting like a bad liar. Like, I don't know. Like he doesn't even want to go. She was like, "Oh, go over to Riverlands." It's like, no, I have to pass the veil. Like I can't go. Like I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't want to be out scouting again in case Caraxes disobeys him again and takes him to another dragon he doesn't want to meet.
Like, she's gonna have horrible gas, and they're stuck in that little passage. It's gonna stink in there. No. Don't know about liar, but Laurie's dropped a truth bomb. Yeah, we definitely opened the stream with that. That was quite the scene. Quite the speech. Laurie's just getting sick of
I
aiming shit.
Yeah. I also absolutely loved, I made a note about it, the comedic timing of Aegon freaking out, be like, I will find my brother and I will kill him. And Laird is just like, hmm, all right. Like, this is what I'm in for now, I guess. Dang it. This has not gone to plan.
They do. They do have a good dynamic there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So what would you
Yeah, I
guys
remember
rate
that.
this episode? I always forget to do that, so let's do that.
I'd say like an 8.5. I thought it was pretty good. It doesn't have like if it had had one of those battles in the previews that I thought was coming, it might be a 9 or a 10, but like as far as like what it was supposed to do, I feel like it was pretty good.
I think I'll go
I'll go.
7.5 or 8. Go ahead, Nettles.
I'll go. I'll say 6. It left me wanting more.
I didn't like it quite as much as last week, but I still thought it was pretty good. So I'd say, yeah, like 7.5,
Yeah.
8.
Last week was stronger for me. But now the song in my head is like, if you're walking up a ladder and you hear something splatter, diarrhea. Remember that song? Diarrhea. That's Allison in those tunnels.
Hey, don't make any jokes about that. We've got the lettuce thing happening out here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I'm terrified. I eat lettuce in everything. Sandwiches, burgers, other kinds of sandwiches, steak and cheese sandwiches, deli sandwiches. Oh, sorry, I eat a lot of sandwiches. Salad
It hasn't
bowl.
gone out west. There's been no cases out west. You're fine.
Nothing is safe. I'm just going to eat Thai food and Mexican food, I guess. But yeah, anyway, let's see here. What else do we need? Was there any other spoiler discussion stuff to come back to? Mainly Butcher's Ball and the Adam Bela thing.
It's in,
Thailand.
I mean, it's not really this episode necessarily, but like we're all, I think, probably in agreement about Sunfire being alive, coming back
Yeah.
at some point, right? What do you guys think of the idea that like I mean, it could be when Aegon killed Janos, but like the idea of like when Ned kills Lady, then Bran wakes up. Like I thought what was going to happen was Aegon was about to stab somebody with Sunfire's scale, and then we were going to see like the eye open up or something like that.
Dude, I
Oh.
think that checks out. If you have the dragon
Yeah.
scale, yeah, that would work,
Yeah.
dude.
That's what I thought
Yep.
was Janos's fate, but he could still stab someone else, and then all of a sudden Sunfire wakes up. Like I'm sure
Did he
someone
stab
else
him
would
with
give him a hard
with the
time.
scale, or was it a knife?
It was a knife, I think.
Okay.
I don't think the scale was that sharp. He like slid something in and then like sliced up his guts as he told him to call him your grace. So I don't think it was the scale.
That's too good of writing. Like, sorry, it's not gonna happen.
If we see something like that, so if Sunfire wakes up, Lady Bran style after a significant death,
Yeah.
I will think of you, Michael.
Yeah, that's where I thought we were going with the scale, and maybe we still are.
Cook everything. Yeah, I know. I don't like. You can't eat cooked lettuce on a sandwich, though. Just hoping for the best. All right. Well, let's see here. I like that prediction, Michael.
Yeah, I wish. I wish. Let's see.
Just going over my notes here, and also last call for
Okay.
questions in the chat is something we didn't get.
Did you guys feel it was a Tumbleton tease? Did you go into this episode? I kind of was side eyeing, like I was expecting a little tumble.
I
A
thought
little
Butcher's
tumble.
Ball might be today, but Tumbleton I think is going to be 7.
Okay.
Fernando
They should-
says 8.8. Do we think Helena will be affected when she visits Dreamfire? Will it enhance her powers? They better do something. I mean, they've got her looking for the damn moon. She better look for her dragon. I hope so, Fernando.
I got something for spoilery chat. What do you guys think about the idea? I've seen this thrown around. I don't remember if it was another creator or a random comment I saw, but I did see it thrown around the idea that Darren is being set up to kill Ormond with Tessarion. And then when he beats Ormond with the dragon piece, I'm like, oh, that's even more foreshadowing because Tessarion obviously hates Ormond. So like Darren the Daring his daring moment and his breaking free of his abusive relationship could be eventually just roasting and eating Ormond and flying away or something
I think that would be
when
fascinating.
going gets tough.
I was thinking of that
Yeah.
when you pointed that out about the chess piece earlier. Like, ooh,
I saw your eyes light up. I'm like, I'll wait till spoilers because I think you had the same thought that I had. Like, I saw that light up in your eyes. I'm like, I bet he's thinking about Ormond getting eaten by the dragon.
yeah,
Because
because
yeah,
like,
that's what it foreshadows to me.
yeah, they can easily change character deaths, like how they die
Yeah.
and
Right.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And Ormond's character is so vastly different. Like he's so much more of a thing that it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it would make the most sense for the arc that they have set up in the show is for him to get eaten by Tessarion.
Oh,
In
Jacob,
the
God, Helena, get away from the window. They did have her standing by the window.
I was watching so close in the background. I'm like, the main thing that kept me from not being super concerned is that in the preseason like trailer, there's the scene of her giving birth. So in the back of my head, I'm like, you don't have to worry about Helena near the window until she has that baby. Like she's gonna have the baby first, and then we gotta worry about Helena.
Yeah.
Someone said
So
Tessarion needs to fart on Ormond before he roasts them, and I agree because
yeah,
his
there's
thing
gonna
with
be something
smell.
with the smell. They're gonna do something like they're gonna like drop dragon dung on the city from the air, or they're gonna do launching something into the city. Like yeah, they'll play that off
If I wanted
or
to
pay that off.
assassinate Ormond, I would have somebody slip poison into one of his little decanters. So when he takes a good sniff on, he's like,
Ooh, ooh, that would be good too. Yeah,
not gonna
In the
happen.
books, is it Ormond that dies from that switcheroo, like from Princess
No,
Bride
that's
in the
that's
tent?
actually
That's
Hobart
cute. Hobart. It's
drinking
Hobart.
with Ulf.
Okay. His
So
dad.
Ormond is cut down by Roddy the Ruin in battle.
Okay.
So they could keep that or they could change it. The Tumbleton battles are very chaotic. We don't even know for sure how Darren died. Maybe he got burned in his tent. Maybe he tried to get to his dragon. Like we don't even know exactly. So
Hmm.
maybe
We'll see
Tessarion,
it.
after Darren is dead, maybe Tessarion will kill Ormond on his own.
that could work too. Yeah, yeah. It would be more satisfying if Darren makes the choice of like taking out his abuser, and
Yeah.
he's the one who moves the dragon piece to beat Ormond. So like, yeah, I hope he gets to do it. But yeah,
I'm really glad you caught that. Like that explains why he was so pissed. Like you beat me with the dragon piece, you insolent pup.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Right as I was giving you this big speech about how dragons are bad and a cunning mind can overcome dragons, you ruin all of my plans with your dragon. Like, dang it.
Yeah.
And George loves the foreshadowing what's going to happen with Savas. Like, that's
Hmm.
a big thing. Like that he
Yeah.
does that every time someone's playing Savas in the books. Basically, I have a whole video about that. Like, they're all foreshadowing, or feels like they're all foreshadowing things that George is planning. And so this is just like another sign that Ryan Condal really likes the books, that he would foreshadow the end for Ormond with a Savas game.
So you're on the Fagon will get eaten by a dragon train then?
I'm on the he will either get eaten by a dragon or he will lose because his dragon is too far away. Like because he didn't side with Daenerys and he
Mm-hmm.
took Tyrion's bad advice, he will lose because his dragon's too far to rescue him. Either one. He could get eaten by one as well.
So
But
Sean
yeah.
and Tim are working this out in the chat. Sean's saying Gawain is going to take Hobart's place as the one to drink with Ulf. And
Mm.
Greyways Tim is pointing out Gawain in the book is killed in King's Landing by Luther Largent, but that didn't happen. Luther Largent is dead. Gawain wasn't there. So yeah, I originally thought Otto would be the one to take Hobart's place, drinking with Ulf
Yeah.
and drinking the poison. But yeah, maybe it'll be Gawain. Could be. Could be. And let's see here. Riverlands are very muddy. There's lots of leeches. Doesn't look like a fun place to. They're gonna do some river rafting, says Kristen.
Yeah, he's just like, yep, we're crossing the river anyway. I don't care. And Gwen's just like, no, no, bud, I'm out of here. I'm not rafting that thing.
They're gonna be covered in leeches when they come out. It's like shades of like
Yeah.
Vietnam a little bit with all the jungle and the mud and the leeches and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
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 Let's see
Yeah.
here. Yep. No. We didn't talk about Damon personally torturing that guy, tearing his eye out.
Yes.
That was
Yeah. Yeah. We got to
Yeah.
see some sharp questioning.
There's the
I
sharp
can't
questioning.
defend
You're
it.
right. They always say it. You know.
Yeah. I can't defend that one. I always say, oh, they're
Yeah.
making Damon look good. But nope, not that one.
Everyone looks good and bad at different times. Like that is kind of a thing. There were so many complaints about them making Rhaenyra always perfect and always, whatever. And then this whole season, she's just been screwing up every, like every personal interaction that she has. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, Fernando got the obvious one. I missed it. Damon tearing his eye out, just like he's going to stab Aemond through the eye with Dark Sister at the God's Eye. Yes.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one. Um, let's see. What was the other? There was another good comment in the chat. I was laughing because it wasn't a good comment. It was something I thought of to say. Um, I was laughing because like he was like in my shoe, in my boot, and then they find that it's like, why did you search him before you started cutting his fingers
Yeah.
off and tearing his eye out? Like just search the guy. I don't know. Maybe try that.
Yeah. They didn't know he had like a token of information on him. They assumed he had the information held mentally. Like, but yeah, no, they definitely should have searched him.
Basic search
But
just seems like yeah. So yeah, that was not Odin.
oh,
Now, when Robin Risling speaks about the warrior incarnate on the field of battle, like that's an Odin. This was not. This was just torture. But I do think
Yeah.
probably meant to be connected to the Aemond thing. Yeah, that's a good catch.
Hmm.
Dave, do you remember there was like an interview with Ryan Condal where he said there was like something that they've never put to screen before that he was excited to put to screen, and I think you thought it was a glass candle, and I also thought that he was maybe hinting at a glass candle. I'm now wondering if that was Savas, and if maybe we're not going to see a glass candle.
Epic trolling from Ryan, if so.
Yeah, I don't know because I can't remember the exact wording. Maybe someone in the chat does, but I can't remember if he said it was something magical or if it was just something that has not yet been put to screen. And like Savas would fit that if he didn't use the word magic.
It was the
Like,
mother-son kiss between Allison and Aemond.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, hard to say. Rotting Dragon, we've never seen that.
Someone in chat saying it was the Green Man, but we saw one of those at the end of last season, and this was in between this season and last season, where he said like next
Yep.
season we're going to get to show something on screen we've never gotten to see before. So
Hmm.
Yeah,
I hope.
yeah.
I hope it's
I
not Savas.
guess that does rule out the Green Man. Yeah, because that was last season, right?
yeah,
Just got home,
I
haven't
hope
watched
it's.
the episode, but I wanted to catch the live show. Shout out, we'll be here for you with some 3 hours or 2.5, whatever it is, of analysis. 1,300 people in the chat, by the way. Thank you. We appreciate you do have options out there. Thank you for hanging out with us. We try to have fun. And Jenny of Cold Stone Creamery, that's a good handle. Helena talks about the nightshade caterpillar, which becomes the Sphinx moth drawn in her book, and the Sphinx is famous for devouring those who fail to answer their riddles. I need to go to bed. So all of the little bug sequences with Helena do have meaning, if you go back and look at them so far. Last week it was like, oh, it's not the time for this one, and that was, or maybe 2 weeks ago, and that was a reference to like, Rhaenyra taking King's Landing, but it's not like a good time, like the timing isn't working out. This one, she was talking about the nightshade. It's like, oh, the caterpillar eats it, but if you or I eat it, it's poisonous. Don't know. What's that? Anybody got any ideas?
Maybe it's what she'll use to off herself. Nightshade.
Okay.
Um,
yeah. It could just be more toxic butterflies references, but I don't know. I don't know.
The Sphinx
Yeah,
moth.
what?
The
Go ahead.
is
Sorry.
that like riddle of the Sphinx?
Well, is it a nightshade caterpillar or is it a caterpillar that was eating leaves of the nightshade, which is why she doesn't want to touch it because the nightshade is a poison.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
think
she
there
was
is a kind
talking
of
about it
caterpillar that
eating.
eats nightshade called the nightshade caterpillar, and it becomes the sphinx
Okay,
moth.
okay,
Just took all the cool
Mm-hmm.
okay.
names from all the other moths and caterpillars there. It's really just
Yeah.
greedy, but
Night things like yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you probably do need to go to bed. We probably all do.
But I like it. I like that thought process.
The bug eats the nightshade. Like who's being poisoned? Rhaenyra's being poisoned, kind of like by Ormond's, undermining her power. She's a dragon, and the Sphinx and the dragon. I don't know. I can't quite connect those.
But I like the part with the if you don't solve the riddle, you die type of thing. So
Yeah.
so there's
Yeah.
a riddle here.
Well, with
The
the Game
riddle
of
could
Thrones,
be
you
for
win or you
Helena and
die.
Jahara how to escape. Like, that's their riddle currently is like, if we can't solve the situation we're in, we're all gonna die. But,
Oh, it would be poison if we ate it. They try to feed her moon tea, which is poison that would kill her other
oh, yeah.
child.
Yeah.
RG
That's
Zimix in the chat got that one. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I will say too, since we're in full spoiler section, I had been wondering for quite a while, like, how are they gonna get from where they are with Helena to where she ends up? And now the pregnancy is like, oh yeah, obviously the path is pretty obvious now. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. So who's let's close with MVP of the episode. I'm not sure if Maynard Plum is working the polls right now. Maynard, if you're here, let's do a poll here. If not, just fill in your answers in the chat. But yeah, I'll ask you guys, who do we nominate for MVP of the episode? It was kind of,
I can't
it was like
I
last
can't
week. It was clearly Ormond. Like it was just the
yeah.
Ormond
I was about
episode.
to say, can I do Ormond every episode in the future? I don't need to see them. Like it's just about Ormond. The Ormond show. Um
I think Amond and Damon are good nominations. Alice,
what about Allison for trying to escape? She tried. I mean, she got a lot of screen time.
Allison did a lot this episode.
Masarius
Aegon.
thwarted her. Did she win anything? Masaria thwarted Allison.
A lot of Alice.
Aegon would be on my short list. I mean, he had some hilarious interactions and stabbed Janos, so like he's doing things.
He got his get
All of
back.
the cats, yeah, all of the cats, they gotta be on the list.
So I think that
Cats.
looks like the four most popular ones are. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of Laris too. Definitely Alice. I was gonna say Alice, Aegon, Damon, and Aemond, but there's some Helena and some Laris too. So
I mean, even Kristen Cole was pretty awesome this episode of just like being the depressed poet marching towards death. Like,
the cats.
yeah,
Yeah, Laris just for that speech is getting a lot of votes.
yes,
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Aemond was just he wasn't in as much of the episode, but he was very powerful. I really thought it was freaky when he was sitting there like really dazed out, and he had his good eye closed, but his like sapphire is still there reflecting the moonlight and
yeah.
like in this mindless kind of way. Like, it was a very creepy visual.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a couple times where it looked like his sapphire eye was like moving just because of the way the light was like reflecting off it. It looked like he was like looking around with it. Yeah.
The
Do
dialogue
you
this
think that?
episode was the MVP.
Do you guys think that Aegon is gonna make a change now after Larry's speech? Because immediately after that, we see him stabbing a guy, getting his get back, almost to be like, "You think I'm this? I'm gonna show you." And now he's gonna become someone else.
Kind of, it's almost like he's embracing the bad personness. He's like, yeah, I am a bad person. You're right.
Yeah, I'll show you that.
I I would hope so because it is like it can have like one of two effects. Obviously, it can set him off and make him stab Laris, or it can be like a moment of self-reflection and being like, yeah, actually, like I got no comeback because you're kind of right. Like nothing I can really say to that. But yeah, hopefully he kind of figures out like, oh dang, yeah, I probably don't deserve to pity myself quite as much as I do.
Yeah.
I think it's meant to provoke something. Not that Aegon's going to be a good person, but I think he'll be hardened to his fate and maybe stop whinging so much, which is probably
Or
what Lars
worse.
is going for.
I think like this action that he does is showing like, look, I'm willing to work for it. I'm willing to get my hands dirty. I'm not going to be a passenger in my story. Like I'm going to earn being king.
Yeah.
Did I
And
miss
the
a big
first thing I'm
house
going to
move?
do,
No more memorabilia. Yeah, you're way behind on the sets. I've had planks for a while now. Um, I've got two sets in the same room. I've got Planky Town and I've got my chair and golden table side table thing. I moved my bedroom into the small bedroom and my studio into the big bedroom so I had more room for all this shit. Because I like doing YouTube stuff. Was a Feast for Traitors in the books? No, not at all. Totally different. There was no Massacre of Gold Cloaks whatsoever. So we'll have to see. This is a major destabilization. Like we
yes,
talked about it, but like it is not going to be good in King's Landing next week.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be really bad.
Yeah. The queens
Taking
have
out.
escaped. They're stuck in the walls. The cops are all dying. Everybody's angry. Yeah.
And that's why it's kind of sad. Like, why don't Targaryens have their own men at arms? Like, there's nobody at
There's been some
Dragonstone.
glossing over of like ladies in waiting and soldiers and things like that. Like Daemon and Rhaenyra are marching through the keep with no soldiers at all. It was mad crazy. Like,
No, but I mean, like, even like historically, like you think of like, okay, Lannisters fortify their
Yeah.
own army, always waiting. The phrase, at a drop of a hat, they can muster 20,000 fighting men. Like, everyone, all the regions can muster up fighting men, right? Especially the Reach. But you have the Targaryens sitting there in Dragonstone, they have nothing.
I imagine it's an oversight because they have dragons that they've just been like, we don't need
Yeah,
that. We got giant fire beasts. No one's gonna tell us no anyway. That's probably why. But yeah, they're
yeah.
not
yeah,
smart to not have it.
Dragonstone has a small population, and Stannis has this problem too. Remember,
Yeah,
he's the lands that he's yeah. There's not a lot of levies to be drawn.
it's definitely an oversight because, now you have to rely on gold cloaks.
Aegon's cute little smile after killing the bandit. Yeah, he was very proud of himself. That one felt good for Aegon for sure. It's like, you will call me your grace. Like, that was pretty sick. It's a good line.
Yay.
Good
He's
line.
doing it. He's performing for the patriarchy. You're doing it, Aegon. You're a man now. You killed something.
So, guys, if you haven't voted yet, get in there. It's a two-way race between Alice Rivers and Laurie's for MVP of the episode. It's still close, so you can get your votes in and sway it. I'm getting a creepy vibe. Has Ormond abused Daeron sexually? So this has been a topic of debate. And it's definitely a creepy, abusive relationship. It does not have to be sexual by any means, but it wouldn't exactly shock people if there was some element of grooming there. I don't know that it would be out and out.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
I
Hard to
don't
say.
get that vibe
Well,
personally. I don't get that.
I think it's mostly based in the sick Hightower supremacy and getting him to repress his dragon side of his nature.
I think
Personally,
that
Yeah.
I think that question comes from how Daeron reacts. Like his fear is very palpable. I think that's why people think like that. Like it's not just like scared of like when people like you think someone's gonna hit you or
Yeah.
something. No, it's like a different
so I think
type
that
of
like the
fear.
putting the hands on the shoulder stuff, like this is what manipulators do. That doesn't have to be sexual. Using physical contact to manipulate, coupled with anger that occasionally bursts out of control. Like he's probably slapped him a few times. That I would guess.
Yeah.
Um,
I imagine he's beaten him, and also he's probably seen him beat other people worse. Like I saw someone, I can't remember where I saw it brought up of like he like when he tells the other kid to get out before Ormond
Mhm.
freaks out. Like I
Mhm.
wonder if he has like punished Darren by like making him be like, oh, I'm gonna whip this kid instead of you because I can't whip you, but like makes other people suffer for
Yeah.
abusing Darren. That could be part of the fear too.
That's great that you say that because I call Daron Tommen with a dragon. Like from here on out, he's Tommen with a
Yeah.
dragon. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can definitely see that. I don't think he would. I don't think he could ever hit Daron, because he has a dragon, and we see when people ride dragons, they kind of change. They do have this sort of confidence, like you're not really gonna touch me. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
I think it is mostly
yeah,
psychological control. To agree with you. Yeah.
it's whipping someone else and making you watch. Like yeah, that type.
Yeah. That's the entire vibe I get from it. Yeah.
You're not
I'm
allowed to
not
hit the
ruling
prince.
out
Everyone's
the.
reminding me you can't just hit the go hitting the prince. So
He could maybe not hit him, but he could like lash out and throw something that hits him and be like, "I didn't mean to do that. You're never gonna tell anyone." Like I could see that type of thing too.
Daron is probably
Like
not allowed to date. I'll say that.
yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Like that could be the only sort of sexual abuse I could see is him like being controlling of Darren's sexuality in weird
Mm-hmm.
ways. That could
Mm-hmm.
definitely come into it.
Yeah.
We'll see. They've sown seeds that could go different ways, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So Greyways Tim, I actually I made that same comparison in my Ormond video, which you apparently didn't watch. That's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I compared it to growing up in a biracial home, exactly, or a first generation immigrant home, because you have essentially Ormond trying to set Daron at odds with himself. He's made to feel ashamed for one side, but not the other, and not always, but sometimes that is an issue. Especially with people moving to America, at least that's my experience, is knowing people of bicultural families where they're the first generation and their parents are trying to get them either to act more like the country they came from and keep to the traditional culture, or it's like, oh, you have to be American, you have to do this and that, because they have shame over where they came from. There's definitely things to relate to that because he's being torn in half by Ormond, like he really is, and it's uncomfortable to watch. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of people that that plot line resonates with them for different. Like for me, I knew a lot of hypocritical religious people who were controlling. I used to be married to somebody who was grown up in a biracial home and shared their experience with me. So that's kind of what I'm drawing from there. But yeah, they're doing a good job of writing plots here that you can read into. It's not always comfortable. But yeah, like to me, it's more interesting when people are all twisted other than just like malevolent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like Ormond absolutely thinks he is a righteous person who is doing everything right for Daron by making him repress this dragon side of him because he truly believes it's an abomination. And yeah, that's more interesting for
Tim, I'm
sure.
just giving you a hard time, buddy. Yeah, no, of course, shout out to Direwolf City and Gray Area. I'm trying to get Gray Area on for the last week of the season, but she has a very busy schedule, so we'll see if that happens. But yeah, you don't have to watch all my friggin' videos, Tim. I make way too many videos, bro. It's fine. And thank you for everyone who watched my 2-hour Encyclopedia of Dragons video. You guys are rocking on that one. I appreciate that. We did work hard. Kind of surprised Kristen isn't an option for episode MVP. There were a lot of options. Some people did say Kristen.
Mm,
It was a very spread out episode. Like there wasn't one main character in any sense this time.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. I think that's right.
Encyclopedia Draconica.
That's the one. I was gonna put that on the thumbnail, but I'm like, man, nobody even knows what Encyclopedia Britannica is. I'm old. That's not even like a valid reference anymore. So I just put Encyclopedia of Dragons, but I called it the Draconica. All right, well, let's go ahead and give this to Laurie's. It's close. Alice with a close second place, but Laurie's we'll call him the winner. So thank you guys. Are we seeing Joffrey's dragon, Tyraxes, the purple dragon, Tyraxes, Barney the dinosaur dragon? No,
Barney.
we'll see. I think the dragon pit will probably be something they spend a lot of time on. That'll be next season, not this season, but definitely
Mhm.
the They haven't set up the dragon pit this season, so I don't think that's going to happen. But it's going to be horrific when they do it. So we should see Dreamfire by then. Definitely Taraxes. Morgul and Shrykos are there. We'll see.
Yep. What does the chat rate this episode? I didn't see what they were saying when we were rating it. It was all right. I just needed more. Like, I needed the momentum of like the last 10 minutes throughout the whole episode, because they've given that to us, episode 1 and 2, near perfection. I didn't want them to drop the ball. Keep up the pace. My standards are sky high.
Yep. It's another pretty solid episode, and I don't mind the ones where nothing big happens, but it's like pretty good. Like, that's a pretty good episode. Like I said, Game of Thrones is as much known for those small scenes, well-written dialogue.
But they did it better.
Some of those episodes are also good on the second watch too.
That's true. What were you about to say, Michael?
Oh, I was just gonna ask if did you guys watch the next episode preview at all?
No, what happened?
Because I watched it without audio. I just watched it because it was posted on YouTube real quick, and Rhaena is being dragged in front of the moon door. Like, she is back in the Vale, being dressed down by Jane Eyre next episode. So that's an interesting little thing that they've shown.
Interesting.
That's good.
So, like, okay, what I was looking at closely here is the first scene of the next week, or the week 6 preview, is 2 knights standing like on the edge of the moon door, like there is not an inch in front of the two of them. And I'm trying to see if Rhaena is there, because then the scene they show a few seconds later is those 2 knights dragging Rhaena in. And I'm wondering, are they push Rhaena out the moon door and Sheepstealer like swoops under and grabs her?
Oh, be like is Empire Strikes Back when
thinking,
Luke?
Yeah. Like
Aladdin did it. Yeah, they should.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, that's what the preview says to me in the first like 5 seconds of the week episode 6 preview. But that's
like
what I was
Gandalf with the Eagles. Yeah. Sky Cell's not the same for a Dragon Rider. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always a fan of seeing that the Weirwood Throne and the Eerie Throne Room and Jane Eyre. That's all really cool. So, yeah. Wow. Okay. Vengeance for the Goat Herd. She's gonna get blamed for that. All right. Sheepstealer's gonna crash out if they touch Rhaena. Yeah, that's not a smart thing to do. Would be to mess with Rhaena. True. She does have the best strip, Jane Eyre.
Definitely.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Make sure you're subscribed to my co-hosts, Nettles, Girl Nettles, and Michael Talks About Stuff.
I'm excited for next week's episode. That's one good thing this episode gave me. Like, there's a lot to sound off of.
Yeah, a lot of good setup. I feel like all 3 of the remaining episodes got to be just bangers with all of the stuff that they've previewed and set up. Like, it's going to be a hard finish to the season. Like, we're going hard the rest of the way.
I think it'll be Butcher's Ball next week, then Tumbleton, and then the last episode. I'm not sure what they'll. Well, the second to last episode will be the betrayal at Tumbleton, and so the last week will be dealing with that. Yeah, maybe even Rhaenyra fleeing King's Landing. No, that happens after the Dragon Pit, so not yet.
No.
It's got to be like the formula of everything crazy happens in the second to last episode, then the last episode is dealing with that, and then cliffhangers for next season, right?
Fallout, yeah.
Yeah, Alberto, we're on Dreamfire watch. We said that earlier. Like, we're just hoping.
Can't
predict it. We're just hoping.
Ever vigilant. Chat, you guys were really funny today. You guys are always funny, but today I was seeing a lot of like zingers.
Yeah, we do need some Black Alley. She's done literally nothing. Yep.
We're not going to get any more of that.
Yeah. Some characters are just there to be like, oh, look, there they are. And that's about it.
Yeah. We said it.
Yeah, the Sunfire comeback. That's probably coming.
I agree with Grey Waste Tim there that hopefully season 4 has 10 episodes, like, or more, but at least 10, right? They got to give us 10 episodes. We can't only have another 8-episode season of this. We gotta,
Well, let's see. What do we have? Dragon Pit. Okay. On the Shepherd's Mob, and that's the death of Joffrey and Syrax. Shortly after that, Rhaenyra flees the city. Second Tumbleton happens when Adam goes there with Sea Smoke and has a valiant death, and the other dragons kill each other. There's Aegon taking King's Landing, taking Dragonstone. Rhaenyra getting to Dragonstone, the Moondancer Sunfire fight, Rhaenyra's death, the God's Eye fight. Helena's death is probably coming this season.
Yeah.
And then after that is pretty much the Hour of the Wolf. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would think they could get a good 10-episode season out of it. It feels like it would be a little rushed if they don't ever have any of these setup episodes.
Just listed a lot of stuff to happen.
Because they're going to put in their extra plot lines and things too.
Raising up of the shepherd. Right. I mean, yeah.
Right. Like they could have one of those big things per episode, and if they have 8 episodes, they might not have enough.
Oh, there was a question about the Winter Wolves. Thank you, Carolina Clay. Let me go ahead and get you here. They mentioned Cregan Stark's army. Did they mean Roddy's or the Winter Wolves on there? Well, so Roddy's army is the Winter Wolves. Cregan Stark comes down with a different group. Because the Starks didn't send any of their main forces. They sent the old guys first. So Cregan comes down for the Hour of the Wolf with regular Stark soldiers and other soldiers from the north. So when did they mention Cregan Stark's army?
I remember. I do remember them mentioning it earlier on. I don't know if it was in the council, maybe.
I'll have to catch it on the rewatch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we were saying. Sunfire could wake up when there's a crucial death. I love Michael's idea about Aegon killing somebody with Sunfire's spike, and that feeds the blood. But it could obviously be something like Helena. Yeah, that could be.
Helena as well would make sense. That would have more of the Bran and Lady vibes of someone who is tangentially a dragon, but not actually related directly. Because Lady dying for Bran, it's well, Lady had the connection with Sansa. It wasn't the direct, it's not like Bran's wolf died to wake him, but yeah, that the Helena dying to wake Sunfire would feel on that level as well.
Sabbatha said that Cregan was coming down and crossing the twins. Oh, okay. So they are setting up Hour of the Wolf already.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they'll give Cregan a little more...
Did she just say the Northmen crossed? Because they let the Winter Wolves cross already. Yes. That's what I think she was talking about.
I thought so too. But I was making notes and watching, so don't quote me on that,
I'll
guys.
Have to rewatch, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. She did say Cregan Stark's army. Okay, well then that would be a second army if that's what she said.
Yeah, okay.
That's not the first one. Oh, Gray Areas talked about Maelor dying and Sunfire waking up. Okay, so the idea's out there.
That could be too.
Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. A lot of times in the fandom, people are like, oh, you stole the idea from this person. Sometimes people think of the same thing separately.
It's been 15 years. We've all had to go over the same books, so yeah.
We're all working with the same source material, yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, and we will see you next week for the exciting week 6 episode of House of the Dragon. Thank you, Nettles. Yeah. Thank you, Michael Talks About Stuff. Real pleasure to have you on. And
it was fun. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. Cheers.
Bye.